Welcome everybody. It's Tuesday night again. It's
time.
like it's been a week since we were doing this Tuesday night thing last.
One exact week.
It's amazing.
Okay. Well, things have kind of started up and going, and then Bryce, what, you got stuck in traffic?
Yeah. We'll blame it on traffic.
Okay.
Traffic was actually very smooth. I was just very late leaving. It's perfect.
Brian was saying that you were doing an altar for him, and that's what took you so long.
It was. I was finishing it up. What's our actual time?
All right. So I know Ryan's on Eldrazi post.
Yep. All right, right at 50.
Right at 50 right now?
46, 43. Because we're giving them a little bit more time, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. No, 10 more minutes. 21, 5.
Oh, 5. Oh, that's 21.
Oh, yeah. 21. Whoa.
Did I mess up?
Yeah, 21. Oh.
I did put 05 there.
There we go.
Weird. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, and then we've got Corey.
Ryan playing Corey. Okay, so Corey's been on a 4-color build. Right?
Yeah.
That he enjoys playing.
Not only that, but he's coming off a PPTQ win. He's like gearing up to be.
Yeah, it wasn't the PPT. It was sealed.
It was sealed.
Okay.
None of us even knew he could do that.
well, it was Masters 25 sealed.
Oh, so that makes it way easier.
I think so.
I don't know.
I don't know what Masters 25 sealed plays like, but
oh man, so I gotta pull this thing up.
What? People in chat.
I know.
Perfect. Nobody's saying anything. Oh, Les is saying hello. Hello, Les.
Hello.
I'm glad you're up and awake and feeling like watching some magic.
The fact that he says hello means that he's alive. That's what we care about.
Maybe he put that on a timer, so
you
that
think
no
so?
matter what, his account was going to say hello.
That does sound like something he would do.
All right, Ryan's on Eldrazi post. This would be kind of interesting. A 4-color build. Corey is on. You can put that if you want.
Just auto 4-color.
It's just check file. He's got the Leovolds and the lightning bolts and the 4-color things. Auto type. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. Turn 1, Monolith. This is right where Ryan wants to be.
That's pretty much what you want to do, right?
It doesn't even get countered. Like, man, Corey's holding on to what? Baleful Strix, Jace, Lightning Bolt. None of those do anything.
Baleful Strix is okay.
It's fine
against some of the Eldrazi. Depends on how big they are, of course.
You really would like to have a Force of Will in this matchup. Maybe he can find one off of a Brainstorm. Yeah, 4-color versus Eldrazi post. That is right. This feels so weird. You're the one with the hat, and I don't have my hat on.
Well, it blends into the background, so you can't actually see it.
Yeah.
My top of my head is camouflaged.
Fixed your bad haircut?
Fixed I was busy altering all day and didn't have time to actually do it. Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I saw your altars. I saw them
very briefly.
Very briefly, and let's just say I'm impressed. I'm excited to show chat these later in the stream.
It could be a fun matchup. FC. This is one where I think this is not something you want to see if you're a 4-color player and you're sitting down. That would be my guess. I actually don't know.
Threndon ammo, 6 mana, Osower, cast trigger. So he reveals 4 cards. All lands get put into play on Ryan's side, and the others will just stay in exile. So we know that Ryan has 3 more lands in hand. He does not have another threat. This Osower is all he has at the moment.
Yep.
It's also all he needs at the moment. But
well, like you said, there's a Strix, right? That's going to help.
Yes. And Jace can come down this next turn if a land gets played.
So it looks like he's got all lands in hand. Is that right? Is that what you said?
Yeah. I believe
there's a post,
Urborg, and Eldrazi Temple.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that sets up nicely. Gives Corey some time to do something.
Yeah, it really does.
Ooh,
Force of Will.
There you go.
Yeah, I think Corey's firmly in the driver's seat here.
What's an Oblivion Sower? Is what power and toughness?
It's a 5/8.
That's really big.
It is really big, but at the same time, we've got Baleful Strix here. It can just jump in front, and honestly, Brian doesn't have a ton of removal in his deck. I'd be surprised to see like a Warping Whale come out of it, and he just draws another Eldrazi Temple. This isn't going to do much, and he's thinking, okay, well, I guess I'm floating mana and tapping this Monolith.
So did we miss? Was there a City Trader trigger that we missed off the Underground Sea, or is that not how that works?
Oh no, it's played from hand. Yeah, you're not playing a land. It's coming in off a trigger.
Yeah.
City of Traders only looks for when you play a land. As far as I know, maybe I'm wrong about that.
So that was just him untapping his Green Monolith and thinking around. Neat. When you play another land.
When you play a land.
And what's the Oblivion Sower's wording? You just can put them in.
You may put any number of land cards that player owns from exile onto the battlefield in your control. It's kind of weird wording. I don't. Yeah, I think that they played it correctly there.
Yeah. So Corey used a brainstorm end of turn there and sculpted his hand a little bit more. Looks like he found another Force of Will and another blue card, being a Strix.
All he needs is a couple Strix.
And a Snapcaster. Yeah,
yeah,
this is great.
Yeah,
this is great. For the 4-color player, right? For Corey, he's sitting on enough counter magic that he can stop. There's some spells. There's some Eldrazi that have cast triggers, right? And you can't counter all of it, but it's enough. Exiling 2 permanents wouldn't be the end of the world for Corey here, but a large mill 20 cards from your deck would probably end the game pretty quick.
Just more lands for Ryan, and I don't think he drew. He did. He drew an Ugin.
Yeah, I think this is going to eat a flesh. What do you think?
Yeah,
it's just a matter of which one.
You probably
Corey's going to have to decide. Here. No, which Force of Will?
Which Force of Will?
Yeah.
What are you getting rid of, Jace or Snapcaster?
I don't think it matters because
Snapcaster.
Yeah, so Jace is a way to end the game, but right now it's just a blue card for the other Force of Will. So he needs to draw another blue card.
Right. How's it going, everybody? Welcome in.
We got Big Red Joe. We've got Jorgensen. We have FC Reaper. We have Minifer. Minifer contacted me. He's going to have me do some altars for him.
Awesome. Always sweet stuff going on.
Ah.
I had no idea that Brian was gonna get so many altars, and now that I'm actually seeing them, I'm like, oh.
It's fun when people say, do something different with this one.
Yeah.
And I'm able to just kind of go sideways and make something cool. But some of them are pretty neat. And then there's that many more cards that people could be like, oh, I want something like that. Which happens a lot.
He showed me the mock-up of his what's the 5-mana kill spell that has a Delve?
Murderous Cut.
Yeah. He showed me the Murderous Cut, and I had to laugh because, like, seriously, if you put like a Guy Fawkes mask on him and made the black like swooshes like red, it would have been like V for Vendetta completely. And I thought that was a really good idea, but he said that he wouldn't play with something like that. Be as creative as you like.
Yeah, maybe do a Goblin Guide altar. Absolutely. Just send me a message and we can get. I'm a few weeks out at the moment now, especially because of Seattle. It's kind of skewed my schedule a little bit.
People are pushing for their altars before,
and then I'm going to be gone for a week in Seattle. Yep, absolutely. Tournament legal. It's been fun. You'll see all these ones from Brian. He may come in and show them off. I just barely finished them up, and of course I'll post them. But
he said at the end of the round he would.
They're I think they should all be very tournament legal. That's always anybody who does altars, an altarist. Seems like a weird thing to say. Always is like they always hedge and say no, we can't guarantee that it's tournament legal because it's up to a judge. So
it is.
Yeah, so now Corey's got a Jace down, right?
Yeah.
He found his other blue card for his Force of Will. And now he just gets to see so many more cards.
Yeah, and Chalice isn't doing much on this board. He really needs like a second Ugin, and that's just never resolving.
Corey's going to be able to get rid of some lands. He didn't find a fetch land. But he also is not really putting on much of a clock here, right?
Right.
He's attacking for what, 1 a turn and maybe a death right, so 3 damage. Okay, that's 4 turns away now. Ryan's Sower is just hanging around, not really doing anything because of Baleful Strix. All right, here's a tap for some number of mana.
All its dust. I think this is going to eat another counter spell.
I think so. I think it has to. You just lose if not. It's just a matter of does he hardcast Force of Will here, or do you just pitch a 1 mana card because they can't be played? Yeah.
So that was another really good draw from Ryan, but now he has to top deck another one. He needs all his dust / Ugin spell number 3.
Yeah, but if you look at the numbers, Ryan has a better chance of drawing another threat than Corey does drawing another Force of Will.
Yes,
right?
way higher. But this Jace looks like it could take the game away at any moment. Even just hitting an Osower and like bashing in a couple turns should end the game. You know, and in fact, it wouldn't surprise me to see that happen at all.
Yeah, let's see. If he bounces Oblivion Sower, he gets to swing for 5 and then 2 more, so it's a 2-turn clock.
Yeah.
So if Ryan draws anything other than another threat, he's just going to Fate Seal instead. So this is a little maybe safer but slower way of going about it.
Definitely slower.
Yeah, but you like to see that. If I feel like the 4-color player, right? This is the type of deck I would play. So it just makes sense that's what's going on. All right, Corey left him a. Do you think it's a land? It's not a land. It's a Thought-Knot Seer. Okay.
So this is going to take a card that would just get countered by Vial. Or Chalice, I mean.
Ooh, and he gets to draw a card off of Leovold.
Oh no!
I'm going to leave.
Lightning Bolt, Thought Season, Brainstorm.
Which one do you want, Ryan?
Which card that does nothing?
This is also kind of neat in that Corey, by allowing this Thought-Knot Seer to resolve, right? He takes a card, right? But Jace, if he wants to, I don't think this is going to be the play, but if he wanted to, he could bounce Thought-Knot Seer to draw a card.
Yeah, he could.
All right. Ryan goes down to 7. Now it might be a little too late for Ryan, even if with a really big threat.
Yeah, especially with him. This is a monolith on the top. That's just gonna get left on top there.
Gonna do it.
Yeah, that should be game. Well, depending on how aggressive Corey really wants to be. Nope, just an attack for 1. We'll get another activation on this Death Right and putting Ryan down to 4.
Monolith. A 4 and black border 1, I believe. Here comes the beats. Maybe not.
I mean, he's dead if he does. Yeah, he has no hand, so like you just put your opponent. Like he'd probably just take it, let the Jace die. And
he's dead here anyway. He doesn't have any hand. Corey just gets to swing for 2 and then Death Right 1 more time. And if he had to here, he could even cast one of his cards in his hand to get it into the graveyard, but he doesn't need to.
All right, so Corey getting game 1. We got to check up on our backup match, which for some reason Brian just makes it into our feature match area in round 1 every time. He thinks it's because of his last name starts with an A.
I don't think that's how it works.
That's what he told me. That's what I said as well. I don't know who won.
Hey, look, they're shuffling. Perfect. I'm glad that they timed that so perfectly. Someone grabbed the dustpan. We got a ton of dust here. All of it. We've got all of the dust. The Dust Buster. So that's how, if you're a 4-color deck, that's how you beat a deck like Eldrazi. You draw your Baleful Strixes, you draw your Force of Wills, and you hope that they brick for quite a few turns. Like, if you think about it, all Ryan had that entire game was a Sower, a Thought-Knot Seer, an Ugin, and an All's Dust. And that was it.
That was all.
4 things. Yep. Everything else was a land or a mana rock.
Well, this is what happens when you're playing like a 24+ land deck in Legacy. that also plays with multiple copies of artifacts that tap for more mana. You know, he's probably got like 30 mana cards in his deck total. You know, what side of the deck are you going to draw, right? You want an even kill of both, but...
So all Ryan really needs is a turn 1 Chalice. And he shuts down a lot of what Corey can...
Yeah, Corey does have access to Kolaghan's Command, and in fact, he's probably maining it. As far as decks that get hurt by Chalice go, I think that 4-color is probably one of the best to get out of it. So, we'll definitely see.
Gregor Joe, thanks for bouncing in here briefly. Well done, sir. Yeah, but okay. So you have a K command. First, you need to draw it. You only have 2.
Right.
Second, it's not coming down until turn 3 at the earliest if it's a Chalice on 1 because you don't get Death Ratch on it. So it just slows you down so much. Having 2 K commands is great when you're able to go find them. But
sounds like it's a little bit of a risky deck. Yeah, it definitely is. Man, when it goes big, it goes real big.
Yeah, but you get to attack with massive, giant, exiling Eldrazi things.
Yeah, you can like turn 2 Thought-Knot Seers and, you know, kind of rip your opponent's hand up that way, and then cast like a turn 3 Endbringer, and then actually bring their end. You know, definitely has high upside.
Loose Val movement set high a little while ago. Well, he said, "What's up?" Which people don't say that anymore. So
no,
that was cool. I haven't heard that in a while.
I'll give it a pass.
Well, there's a Chalice on 1 and a City of Traders. I think he's keeping this hand regardless of what the rest of it is. On Corey's side, we see a whole bunch of things that cost 1. Ooh, this Chalice is going to get countered. This is a Force of Will.
I still like just running it out here.
Oh yeah.
Just
either you eat a Force of Will or you. It's a little harder when you've run it out on a City of Traders, but okay.
Yeah, the City of Traders does feel somewhat bad, but I don't think it matters too much. He's gonna have 4 mana, and you know he's got 4 mana in his hand regardless of what happens to this Thran and ammo. And then we've got Thought-Knot Seer, which is quite a few turns away actually.
So Ryan's next turn is going to be Revoker and Cloudpost, probably, right?
Yeah, I guess he probably just named Jace.
Is Imperial Recruiter played in Legacy that much? No, it's played in not. 1 deck, and maybe the not better version of that deck, Mono Red Painter.
Yeah, it sees very little play.
Which is why, if you have one and you opened one recently, I think they're going to come down much further than they already are.
I heard they were still like $60.
Yeah,
why?
I think they're about 50 right now. I could see them taking all the way down to $30.
Like who's buying Imperial Recruiters right now? You know.
Yeah.
So Thought-Knot Seer is going to be the grab. Yep. Here's
Revoker's going to resolve.
I assume this is just going to name Jace or Deathrite Shaman. Maybe Deathrite Shaman? Yeah.
For now, all Corey needs is a bolt or something to do with it, which he has. Oh, yeah. There's some brewability with Recruiter that wasn't around much before because of it was so expensive.
Oh, look at this. And Chalice comes off the top. This is going to be a Brainstorm in response. And he does have a Force of Will. He just needed to find a blue card. I think it's another Force of Will. So he would have just a ton of lands.
Yeah. He gets to put some back. And then so I think it's a Snapcaster, actually, that he just drew. So he's got 4 snap, land.
Yeah, that would make more sense. He lets it resolve.
Interesting.
Takes 2.
So this is the tough choice part of things, right? Like you said, he has an answer in K command somewhere in his deck. But do you keep the Force of Will for the threat that you know isn't in Ryan's hand because you saw everything? Or do you counter the Chalice so that you're able to cantrip?
I would have been tempted to counter it, especially since he knows that Ryan really doesn't have a whole lot at the moment. he saw that Chalice was one of the draws. There's only one unknown card.
I don't think you actually want Recruiter and Zoo. Zoo specifically,
No.
you just want threats. You want creature to either ramp out a threat or put out a threat.
You do not want a 3-mana 1/1.
Yeah, you're not toolboxing.
Mm-hmm.
There's very few cards that you're actually going to go find. You just want one of them. It doesn't matter which one. It belongs in Painter because it lets you go find Painter.
Yeah, gets you Painter Servant.
Yeah.
Another land, and is he going to cast Threat Ammo? Maybe. Attack for 2. Well, he's definitely got mana this game, so we're just waiting for Ryan to actually play something large. Yeah, he's got all the mana too, so he's got access to 7, 8 mana towards any spell, 9 mana if it's an Eldrazi.
All right, here's the Leovold. That's a card you can play.
It gets in the way of Phyrexian Revoker, I guess.
Yeah, the card that was gonna kill him.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yep, that's enough. That's enough.
Yeah, that's hard to deal with right there. And okay, so Corey has to deal with this. He has to force it with us.
Yeah, he does.
Right, but then after that, he's got an Ivugan that just is going to keep finding threats every turn.
He's just going to name 2 lands. Yeah, I'm just going to force away this. Probably throwing his other Leovold that he just found. No.
The first Leovold got targeted. So
did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought he looked at the Underground Sea in the Volk. Yeah, that makes more sense. Okay, so this is countered, and 2 damage coming through.
10 and 9. So all Corey needs is specifically a Wasteland and some way to do 20 damage.
Yeah, his deck doesn't play Wasteland, so these 4-color decks can't do that.
Yeah.
But exactly, right. So basically, Ryan every other turn is going to land something huge.
Right.
Every other turn.
Yeah.
And Corey is going to be desperately trying to find something. Okay, so here's a Glimmer Post. This is going to gain him 3 life because that is his 3rd Locust land. And yeah, I probably just pass the turn here, and then on Corey's end step, he'll activate that eye, or he'll just do it right now. Yeah, so Locust Land's now tap for 3 mana, so that is 7 mana plus eye, and can he cast? He can cast something up to. Yeah. Oh yeah, he can cast an Endbringer right now. Or a Reality Smasher. That would be good too.
Yeah, when you're at 9 life, that ends games pretty quick.
Agreed. This is where the mana always gets a little weird for me. I've played this deck before, and just pay 3 for my, I just paid 10 total mana to put in a Reality Smasher.
Mm-hmm. All right, Corey goes to 4. He doesn't have anything at all that ends this game for him, but there's also plenty of time. So
Snapcaster's the draw.
That could snap back a card to get countered. That'd be neat.
Sure could.
He could double block the Reality Smasher and only go to 1.
I feel like he'd block the Phyrexian Revoker in that case. Oh my goodness! All right, another Glimmer Post.
Just go to 27.
Gain 4. Now my Cloud Posts tap for 4 mana apiece. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Activate Eye. He's got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana available. Plus, okay, so he's just gonna go for the other Reality Smasher. Why not?
Yeah. I would have gone for a much bigger creature there.
Yeah, I would have gone way overboard.
I mean, if you're playing a Eldrazi Post, you go big.
I was gonna go way big.
Okay.
I mean, he had 4, 5, 6, yeah, up to 8.
Snapcaster on Brainstorm. Oh, he's going to try and resolve a Brainstorm. It gets canceled. That was exciting.
Ryan just points at it. He's like, yeah. If you think I'm letting you get away with that one, you're crazy. All right, let's check up on Brian and Nicole here.
All right, so Nicole's playing
Dredge.
Just a little bit different frame of mind here. We've got a combo deck on one side that's disguised as a mid-range deck versus Dredge, a graveyard combo deck on the other side. Looks like Brian's already got a food chain out somehow. What just happened? Oh, this is a removal spell.
This is a Nature's Claim.
I thought it was a Life from the Loam. It's a Nature's Claim, yeah.
So Brian's gonna gain 4, and Food Chain hits the graveyard there.
It's because they're not altered.
Yep, that's why
they're just foreign foils. It's not good enough.
So is he gonna get you to alter literally every card?
No, he wants to do all of the modern frame.
Modern frame,
and then
to keep the food.
The classic frame foils, they look amazing.
And any expeditions he's gonna keep.
I don't know if we're touching any lands.
Yeah,
I think we might be done actually. I'm not sure.
Really?
There might be 1 or 2 of the cards, but I got a lot of them done. He had me do his Mistala Griffins, his Ballistas, the Eternal Scourge also, and then
and some Griffins.
Yeah, and then Tombstalker, which is a new addition to the deck. It switched out for a Angler. There's a Griffin there. I don't know if we'll do Force of Wills or not. I'm not
sure. Corey won game 1, Ryan won game 2. So we're headed over to a game 3 there. They're just getting shuffled up, so we'll head right back there when I see them starting. Just thought I'd show you guys some magic while we wait.
So Brian's using a surgical extraction to take out Cabal Therapies. The reason for this is it's a big part of the engine.
It is.
Let alone the fact that you get to pick apart a card from Brian's hand. It lets you sacrifice one of the Narcomoebas and then bridge from below triggers, right? And everything, and that's how you go big. Is often you need the therapy. Sometimes it's just a dread return as well. But therapy often gets that started. So it's a nice take.
All right, so I think our other players have kept their hands. I think.
Yeah.
Once I see a card played, I'll go back to our main feature match.
Chain of Vapor.
Fluster.
It's a high count. Chain of Vapor is getting counted.
So Corey will be on a mulligan.
All right, so looks like Nicole's got everything on the right is exiled and everything on the left is her graveyard. Since Dredge players play with their graveyard out in front of them, since there's so many cards, it makes sense. What's everybody doing tonight? Everybody in chat is so quiet. What are you guys up to? It's Tuesday night. Ah.
Not playing Magic. That's fine. You get to hang out here.
Hmm.
We got you covered on the whole Magic aspect. All right. Our players have kept their hand. We'll jump back over there.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get to see the rest of Nicole versus Brian after this one.
Yeah. Far Cry 5 is out today? Okay.
It looks like a pretty fun game, actually.
I have not seen anything about it. Enjoying your pain medication.
Batusai! Welcome. Now the party can begin.
Oh, thank goodness.
Woot!
I wanted the party to begin.
Yeah, we've been waiting. Patiently. You're happy that port is 25 and upset the cavern is 80?
Same.
Yes. That's the joy of these master sets, right?
The D&T struggles. I'm actually helping a friend get a D&T deck together. He's actually playing tonight. He borrowed a couple of the cards he didn't have and playing the deck for the first time, so should be fun. No, port is not down to well, maybe the other port is, but
port is
the new
30,
one.
Yeah.
The new one is $25.
Yeah.
Yes, $25. I couldn't believe it either.
That makes sense. There's a lot of people that are opening Richardon ports that don't play Legacy.
Yep. Look at this. Chalice on 1. This resolves. Now there is already a Death Right in play, which is most of the battle right. You just want to get something that can end the game into play, and it's helping him out with mana. He's got a Force of Will in hand. This is gonna jump in front of one of Ryan's big spells.
It's things like port going down to 25 though, which is I think correct. But it shows why, like when you see a goldfish EV on a master set like this, and he's doing it the week the set's released, and it's like, oh, a box is worth $200. Great.
Yep.
No, not when you're printing these eternal cards that haven't been printed in so long.
All right, so Thought-Knot Seer's coming down. This is gonna pluck Force of Will. This is where I guess this is why Cavern's like $80, right?
Because you get to do things like this.
Yep.
Neat.
I'm gonna play this 4/4 that's gonna take the card out that I don't want to see.
The reason it's $80 is because the last set it was printed in it was at Mythic.
Oh my goodness.
That's why.
That's so dumb.
If it had been at Rare, it would be a $40 card right now.
Probably less. Maybe.
That's why.
Yeah. It's silly.
Mythic in a $10 pack.
Yep. All right, so
hey, look, mana.
Yeah, Monolith into Thrandon ammo.
Brown cards. A tap for more brown cards. That's neat.
He should tap. He should have 1 mana floating. He should really tap 1 and then tap 1 of the monoliths. Just saying.
Shatterstorm would be great here.
Yeah, Shatterstorm would be pretty good. It's 80 because of 5-color humans. Yes.
Yes. All those things are true, but it wouldn't be that high if it hadn't been printed at Mythic. That was my point.
I actually still have 1 Caverns, and I'm like so tempted to get rid of it because I'm not using it for anything.
If you have a significant amount of modern cards, I think you can do pretty well just playing the whatever was reprinted least game and moving cards like Snapcaster right now, and there's several modern cards. I don't need to make a list, and then playing the deck that had them reprinted recently.
Yep.
And they're cheaper because Cavern will get reprinted, so will all these other modern cards that are a fortune right now.
They will.
Manamorphos. It's like a $10 card.
$10 common.
And it's been reprinted in the first Madam Masters.
I think it's printed as an uncommon in that set.
Yeah.
Still up a rarity and then just hold value.
Yeah. It's just pure silliness.
Modern prices are getting scary. It's because of how many people are playing Modern right now.
Yeah.
It's insane. And us legacy players have to suffer for it.
And
we're like, we already got our duels. Why do we need to pay money for other cards?
and then they reprint a reprint set and don't put any reprints in it. We don't need to reprint Liliana again. We did that recently-ish.
I'm just waiting for the day where they actually like reprint a Planeswalker at Rare. It's gonna happen eventually.
I'm not sure it will.
It might not. I don't know.
Abruptly, some things died. How did Thought-Knot Seer die? What did I miss? I missed something. Oblivion Tower. Okay.
I think it was a Toxic Deluge.
So you really do get to see the unfairness of this matchup, right? Corey was able to get game 1, and it looked like, at least to us, that it was fortunate, right? He drew the right cards, and his opponent drew nothing. And here Ryan's playing his deck, and it's just brutal. So
he did hit a Verdant Catacombs off of his Osower, and he elected not to put it into play, which is a little surprising. One of the reasons that Eldrazi Post likes to play Urborg is because when you take lands from your opponent, you can get fetches, and you don't have those lands to go fetch up, so you can play an Urborg and make it so all those fetches can tap for mana. But in this case, I really don't think Ryan needs any help here.
Yeah.
I think he's in a pretty good
He
scenario.
doesn't really need another land.
No.
What is the best thing for Corey here?
Oof.
A K command off the top?
Probably Baleful Strix into something. Yeah, Baleful Strix into
Abrupt Decay on the Chalice here?
probably. Yep.
Okay.
There's Ponder.
Oh,
There's a K command and 2 lands. This is not exciting. I mean, K command does do something, don't get me wrong, but
not enough.
It's like you take K command and you're just gonna lose to the Osower.
Yep.
I think he's got a shuffle here.
The K command does allow him to block and then K command back Snapcaster and play Snapcaster.
Yeah,
but
yeah, it does.
It doesn't look like he's got enough in his graveyard for that to really be effective.
Not too effective. Looks like he's going to take it anyway. Shuffle away those other 2 lands.
Yeah, so he'll draw the K command next turn and then shuffle. Oh look, an Ayavugan.
All right, so let's do a mana count. We got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then -2 off the eye. So like up to 9 mana. This does not cast Ulamog. You definitely cast All Is Dust. I don't know why you would.
Eye is a silly magic card. I agree.
You may just want to activate Eye, honestly.
It was legal in Modern once. Hey, look. All Is Dust. This time,
doesn't have enough
not getting countered.
Okay, yeah, this is... He has 2 All Is Dust in hand. Why not just...
That was an All Is Dust taking out a Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, no biggie.
Yeah, that's
only
what
tap
that
2
was.
permanents.
Yeah. How come YouTube chat does not show up on stream?
It should. It usually does. Oh, it doesn't... It won't show.
It should show up in the restream.
It should. It usually does.
Maybe...
I'll reset them and see if it works.
Maybe now. Claymore 1, the Twitch chat's just better anyway. You don't want to be one of those YouTube people. Whatever that means.
I don't even know what that means.
K command. Oh, taking out the Thran Dynamo. Look at this. Efficiency. Gets back up. Blocker. Gets to play a Deathrite Shaman.
Yeah.
Well, he gets back to Death.
Yeah. One thing. Twitch is very laggy. Interesting.
Huh. We'll give it a shot. We just reconnected it, so hopefully it works now. Deathrite dies.
Yeah. Endbringer. Gonna bring some end.
Bring in the end.
I don't think.
He did exile.
Yeah, it's exiled. Yep. I don't think it does get exiled. I think it gets sacrificed, doesn't it? Ugin exiles. I think.
Sacrifices. Yeah, it should have.
Yeah, sacrifice. Yeah, he could have gotten it back.
Well, this game obviously doesn't count. They should go to game 4.
Yeah.
So what's kind of nice is we started our feature match here a little late, right? A few minutes late. So probably most of the rest of the room is finished up. So once these guys get done, I wouldn't be surprised if we're on to round 2 pretty quick.
I don't think that mistake is gonna matter. Testing. Yep, I can hear you now.
He's not a Verizon Wireless guy anymore. Come on, get with the new whatever thing is. All right, Ryan gets that. Let's jump over and our other match is finished as well.
Well, isn't he supposed to come in here and show us things?
That's what he said. It's more fun to look at them on Facebook anyway. They look much prettier than this camera.
You got him up on Facebook?
No, I finished them and ran here, but I'll put them up soon.
Well, that's kind of what I figured.
I could put some up now. I could tease you guys with some.
He's gonna come in here. You'll see.
Let's see. I'll get there.
You'll see. He'll bring him in.
I
Right, meow.
Service. That's very strange.
You want me to go get him?
Sure.
Go find Brian.
Which one should I post first? So exciting. How about these guys? So walking ballistas for Legacy Food Chain. Let's see. So I did Death Rights already for him, and then Baleful Strixes. These are the ballistas, and there's quite a few others. I'm going to tease you guys, though. I don't know if any of you guys even care about seeing altars, but I'm only going to post a few, like one a day or something like that. There's some cool ballistas.
Found him. Let's report, and then. So these altars are way too cool for school.
Good.
They're so good.
It's. I was just saying, it's fun to do some different things. How long does it take me to do an altar? It depends on a couple different things. If you contact me to do one, I usually don't get it done for about a week. That doesn't mean I'm spending a whole week doing it, but somewhere in the a few hours range per card.
Did you win, Brian?
I did. 2-0.
Nice and easy, huh?
Yeah, I have a lot of experience against Dredge, and he doesn't have a lot of experience against me or in the Legacy format, so it was quite nice. Yeah. It was relatively one-sided.
Hello from Portugal. Welcome. We're just finishing round 1 here, and we should have round 2 pretty soon.
Hi, Portugal.
We've got lands versus lands, a D&T player that's still playing, and I forget what the other one was.
Oh, that's Trace, huh?
Yeah, but he's playing a tough matchup against another relatively new player.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the one that everyone knows.
Oh yeah, it's a masterpiece card. Those are fun. Somebody just asked me to do one, and they're in Scotland, so
it's a little ways away.
Sending off a masterpiece to Scotland.
It's a little ways away. Here is the Eternal Scourge.
Yeah. So
that is sweet.
Brian asked me to give it something that felt like eternity or infinity.
Yeah.
Because it's part of a combo. And I've already been doing a lot of circles in a lot of my legacy cards. But coming up with a pattern that I thought worked well, that kind of showed infinity, that was kind of tricky.
It was tough.
But it's fun.
Then here is Miss Griffin.
So these are fun. These are all foils. And so the part that I alter loses, yeah, we're looking at it through a sleeve, but it loses the foil. And so you actually get to kind of highlight. Mistral Griffin's a strange card in that the Griffin itself is so dark, it's not actually very foiled.
Yeah.
But the moon and the of course, the text boxes are all foiled.
Yep. And so that will shine. And Walking Ballista. So this was in a similar style to the Eternal Scourge. So the Eternal Scourge was kind of a cross between the Mistral Griffin and this.
Yeah.
But because they're both colorless, they both have this kind of like gold filigree style.
Yeah, and these look really nice in person. The way that the Walking Ballista is shiny on the matte black.
Yeah.
I almost wanted to leave it just black because it looked good, but it looks great with the circles, the pattern.
Yeah. And then the Baleful Strix that everyone has seen. But 4 of them.
There's more.
Oh, I forget.
But wait, there's
Murderous
more.
Cut and Tombstalker. Because they're so subtle. Those are such subtle cards.
But wait, there's more. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to come across.
Yeah, this is. Okay, so here's Tombstalker.
Yeah, you cannot tell.
So I had the idea of using
oh, there it is.
A gloss black on the matte black. So this is something that's kind of subtle, and it's neat because you see it in hand really nicely.
It's really pretty in person.
But it doesn't come across. So I actually have a video of it. I'll post up.
Yep.
And then same type of thing with this Murderous Cut. I did a little bit of color, but there's this really cool...
There's a swoosh where the blades are.
Kind of like a Japanese brush stroke moving through it.
Yeah.
and it's fun to do something different like that.
Yeah. Now I've got to go to the head judges at Seattle and be like, so can I play with these?
Is this why you got the non-foil version?
It may or may not be the reason why I have a non-foil version of the deck for large tournaments. That and there is some warping happening in the deck as is, and so I think it's good to be better safe than sorry.
You have expeditions, you have other things like that.
So the deck has now, what is this? 14 cards altered.
Plus Death Rights?
Plus the Death Rights.
Yeah.
18 cards.
Yeah.
And there's about another 18 non-old border foils that need to get altered.
Yeah.
So, no, this, holding these in my hand, like in my grip seeing, I'm just like, oh, it's so cool.
Patrick, hello.
These altars are just insane.
I'm glad you like them. It's cool because you've got some there that are different than any other altars that people are doing.
Yeah.
Right? Like the Baleful Strixes are based off of what somebody else has been done, right?
Yeah.
But some of these other ones, I haven't seen anything quite like them.
Yeah, no one else will have altars like mine.
Yeah.
Well, until you make them altars like mine. I was bragging to Kyra sort of that I have 4 original full bordered or blacked Death Rights.
Yeah.
So I've got the 4 foil ones. They were the first foil ones that you did, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I've got the 4 non-foil ones. And those weren't the first ones that you did. Or were they?
No, I don't remember.
The ones that you put in our case.
Yeah, they may have been the first non-foils.
So I have the first of each edition. all of the newest things, I have all the firsts of.
That's cool.
So that's what I'm happy with. Well, except LED. I don't have the first of that. But I'm going to get out of the way so you guys can watch Kyra and Bryce do their thing.
Right on. Well, hopefully we'll have round 2 starting. Thanks for showing us some cards.
You're welcome. Thanks for altering some cards.
Oh, we'll get to show them on Facebook once.
Yeah. They don't come across in this camera.
They really don't
at all. And some of
them did. Some of them did. The two soccer and the
yeah. I like to show. It's fun to do altars that are subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Because you play the card and people go, "What is that? I don't quite that's really cool looking." Instead of like if you just do border extensions, people have seen those.
Yeah,
and they're neat. They can be really nicely done, but nobody goes, "Oh wow, let me take a closer look at that." These ones you want to
border
pick up
extension.
And look at them. Yeah. So I'll be posting some more. I'm gonna try and get done a large portion of my deck before Seattle. So they might just be darkened. They might not have any patterns because that still looks really cool.
Yeah.
And it's something I can do quicker than coming up with designs for each one of these. So every single one of these cards I did for Brian, I do a digital mock-up first, and so he was able to kind of yay or nay some of them.
Does he have a Facebook? Why, yes, he does. Let me link it for you.
Yep, it's just Facebook /Felt Altars. And all of these altars go up there. And then if you're interested in having something done, it's been really fun to do cards for people in chat. There's going to be 3 or 4 people in Seattle from across the country that are going to be playing with cards I've altered, which is neat. And
I'm kind of dying. I'm kind of dying to like sit down at like a GP or something like that and actually have my opponent play something and I go, I know where you got that.
Right?
That'd be really cool.
Did you posted it from YouTube? How'd that work?
No, posted in Twitch.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
It's just a broadcast or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're fun to do. It's fun to do something a little bit more unique and different. And there aren't too many people who are doing altars for legacy decks. You often see altars for, unless they're just border extensions, but you often see altars for commander, right? And so those are very different things where they're putting a big character right in the center of the art and making it look totally different or doing a complete artistic change. Here, a lot of these altars that I just showed you and that are on my page, I'm taking the existing art and trying to enhance it or complement it somehow by going in my frame. my canvas is actually the border, right? and then bleeding into the art.
Right.
And that's kind of a challenge. Scouring the internet for imagery that I think works well with the existing art, and then trying to get something close to that. Well, my prediction that round 2 was going to start immediately after is wrong.
Very. Way to go. Way to go.
Are any of you guys in chat besides Patrick? Going to be in Seattle? You guys going to go to GP Seattle and play some Legacy? Is this a thing that we're going to have Jorgensen? Is he coming?
I don't know.
Oh.
I don't know.
HC Fox?
I think HC Fox will be there.
He's pretty local, right?
I want to say there's quite a few people from chat that have mentioned that they'll be there, so it'd be cool to see people.
Yeah. We have a significant number of people traveling from here.
Yeah, we really do.
I can't actually keep track. Every time I talk to somebody, there's new people.
Yep. All right, we're gonna have our Eldrazi post deck versus Brian.
Ooh, Food Chain versus Eldrazi.
Yeah.
So strangely, that's a similar matchup because Food Chain is a mid-range deck, but it has a much better win percentage versus Eldrazi, right?
Yeah.
Being able to combo off and just win against a deck that has no counter magic.
Whoa, Alton's playing. What is Alton playing?
I don't know. Yeah, I can play something kind of spicy.
Want to give that a look?
Sure.
We'll see where people sit down.
And Terry's probably on either a 4-color or
Grixis
some
Delver.
sort of a Delver, yeah.
4-color or Grixis Delver. It's usually what Terry's on.
We'll get these guys seated here soon and get the round updated.
Of course, the time starts over.
Ah,
Built mono red painter.
Mono red painter.
Well, we're definitely watching that then.
Neat. It'll be fun.
Okay.
Hey, there's Nate. He jumps in to provide us very
useful information.
So I think what we all need to do as Legacy players going to a GP, we all need to go to Nate and say, all right, Nate, here's my deck. Give me my sideboard breakdown for every single matchup.
Is he that good at it?
We made like one change to the 15-card sideboard, and it threw his entire sideboard plan out of whack.
We're getting repairings. Never mind. So we have Terry versus Jordan and Robert versus Calvin.
All right, so Jordan is playing with some City of Traders. I don't know.
Is he playing Steel Stompy?
I'm not sure.
I think he's playing Steel Stompy.
Okay. So that could be interesting. Are you going to follow? Yes. If I'm at a GP and you gave me a sideboard guide, I would follow it.
If I was given any sideboard guide, that'd be pretty strange not to follow it.
I would definitely
from a competent player.
I need to have one for my matchups, because right now I kind of flounder around going, well, I think this is probably what I'll do.
Brian,
which is the wrong way to go about it.
Brian's to the point where he's like, "Yeah, I think you should probably play Food Chain and not Jund." And I was like, "Well, you'd have to coach me." And he goes, "I can do that." And I'm like a week and a half. Like, I don't even have that long. I would definitely need a sideboard guide.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising there's not more of them out there. For a little while, a lot of the pros were putting pretty strong sideboard guides out after their tournaments or before their tournaments, and I'm not seeing as much of them. Maybe I'm just not looking in those places anymore.
You play Enchantress, the 4 of Rest in Peace in your main deck. All right, let's watch.
Yeah, it makes sense to do it. Legacy's a little challenging in that it's hard to put a sideboard guide together for all of the different matchups, but it still helps, especially for the ones that you expect to see. Some sideboarding is pretty obvious, right?
Yeah.
Out goes Force of Will. In comes this card. Done. Other sideboarding is a little bit more important, especially when you're cutting one-ofs, cutting playsets down to 3 or whatever to make the deck tight. Patrick says, I mean, you jammed Nick's Fit at Santa Clara.
Yeah. Duh. I mean, what else would I have jammed?
Well, I mean, Nate, if you want to, come play Friday Night Magic, and I happen to have a Legacy deck with me, with a sideboard and a piece of paper. Yeah, and it helps you find out which cards you should have and which ones you shouldn't. Correct.
Why are we? Why did we just state Jund?
Uh-oh. Well, Esper Mentor is hard to play.
It is.
It's not easy. All right, we have players. They're seated. Yes, this is.
We got them all again.
This looks like orange Brian sleeves. So this is Steel Stompy versus Terry.
4-color or Grixis.
He probably cut Delver Secrets because it's just a do nothing card, right? Can I respond here to this while they're mulliganing?
So we've messed with this Steel Stompy deck a little bit. We've lost really badly with it, and you've also won really, really easily with it.
Yeah, it plays kind of like Affinity, in that you have some hands that just work, and you get to just run. It's definitely a different deck than Affinity, but it has kind of a similar feel in Magic that way.
Yeah, it's a Chalice deck. Okay, it looks like Terry's got a fetch land. He's got a Scry, bottom, and we'll get started. Polluted Delta, and there's Stifle. Definitely on Grixis Delver. Or I saw when he held his deck up.
Yeah, I think Steel Stompy. If you know it's not always clear the correct line with Steel Stompy, so you need a lot of reps with it, and there's some weird interactions about how to go and when to go. Going meaning sacrificing things to Arcbound Ravager, putting them on a Ballista or a Hangerback Walker, and there's weird things where you put a whole bunch of counters on a Walker, sack it to get tokens to sack that. It's a little bit intricate.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not just playing a Delver and flipping it over like Terry likes to do.
Right. So this is Young Pyro. Even though Chalice is on 1, this is a pretty good way to get around it.
Yep.
You can still cast Lightning Bolts for 1/1s. That's a lot more than they were doing before. So
Pyromancer is one of the only ways to fight through a Blood Moon as well. So it serves double duty that way.
That seems good. Walking Ballista on 1, just gonna take care of that. And you think we'll? Okay, so no lands in the graveyard right now, so he doesn't really want to fire off in this Underground Sea yet.
Yeah, that Delver gets countered. So that's I'm going to put cards in my graveyard so I can cast a Gurmag Angler play there.
Is that?
Yep.
Oh, he does have a Gurmag Angler. You're right. Okay. Steel Overseer. Ticking his life total further and further down. Hasn't been able to find another, or like a City of Traders or something like that. So he's going to tap his Wasteland, lose 2 more life for a Vault Scourge. Now, this Vault Scourge is going to get really big. Yeah, sure is. So there's a Forked Bolt that was drawn, which normally would be incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible.
Yeah, perfect card.
But there's no land in the graveyard. No red source on board.
Chalice.
And it gets countered by a Chalice.
Yeah.
Just everything.
Yeah.
Another Steel Overseer. Now we're getting crazy.
Yeah. This is what this deck can do, right? It's a Chalice on 1 deck. And instead of putting out big red creatures or other red things like Chalice decks can do. You're just kind of going wide, but the deck can also go very narrow and win with just one really big creature.
Yep, attack in for 2, get some of that life back, and yeah, Jordan. Even though Terry only has 1 land, he's still just no need to fire off that wasteland.
Yeah, Vault Scourge is kind of a weird card in this deck. You look at it at first and you feel like it's just the worst card in the deck.
Yep.
But as you play with it, it actually often is pretty critical. And Jordan's just got it here. I don't see
how does he lose.
Yeah, I haven't done the math, but you're not losing from this position. Okay, I was gonna say I don't think I would be attacking with both.
Yeah, Terry sees the writing.
Yeah,
on the wall. Yep. Okay, I'm dead. All right, still Stompy.
Chalice on 1 is what that deck is called.
Yeah, Chalice on 1.
Jordan played a Chalice, and it had other cards in it.
That's good. That's a good thing.
One of them was like a grizzly bear, and the other one was a flying, like a scrib sprite or something.
Okay, so now then we've got Robert, and this is Infect. We haven't seen this deck in a minute. And Calvin's on 4-color, 4-color. I would label it check pile, but I can't spell it, so
4 colors better. It doesn't make sense why you would have a check mark in your deck. It doesn't.
Right.
That doesn't make any sense.
So we see the 4 right under the 20. I would assume that is poison. We're gonna try to Berserk, and a Fatal Push is gonna take care of this.
So it looks like Robert went all in there. That was an Invigorate and a Berserk, and Calvin had a Deathright Shaman to tap for black, which was the correct tapping. Did you see that in the team tournament? In the semifinals, somebody exiled a card to tap for black so that they could Lightning Bolt, and he's like, well, you tapped for black.
You said you tapped for black?
Yeah, and so they lost the match.
Wow. Well, you should probably tap for the right color. I mean, Robert still has that Inkmoth Nexus that he played. He's got some pressure. It looks like Calvin's got a lot of cards in hand that can keep these at bay, though.
Chalice into your favorite bad cards and Deathright Shaman into your favorite good cards. Yep. I like it. There is some truth to that. I want to play with this sub-standard deck, so I'm going to jam Blood Moon and Trinisphere and Chalice of the Void, and I would play with 1-mana cards like Enlightened Tutor, but I'm not going to because I'm playing with Chalice, so I'm going to just play with 2 drops and higher. Correct. Look at all these tropical islands. Have you ever seen so many tropical islands in Legacy? It's been a while.
It has been a while. This is actually one of the only decks that plays more than 3 of a single duel. And I want to say, in fact, typically plays 4 tropical islands. Yeah. They're pretty important.
Inkmoth Nexus beats. Are you guys ready? That's what's going to happen. Animate the Inkmoth Nexus. Tap the Inkmoth Nexus as an attacker. It's a lot of excess. Nexus. Whoa.
Oh, that's the first poison. Never mind. I thought the 4 was the poison. Okay, that's the first poison damage, and then a Glistener Elf is going to get cast. This is going to get
something invocationed. He's going to make him sacrifice a creature.
Oh, is it die blockade?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to jump back over to our other match, though. Things are already happening.
I think choosing the land there is wrong, but it could be wrong.
You could be.
Wasteland takes care of it, right?
Okay, so we had a turn 1 Delver, and then we've got turn 1 play 4 things from.
I don't see a turn 1 Delver. Where's
not Delver? Sorry, man.
Deathright
Shaman.
That dies the life you gained. Oh, okay, sure.
Yeah, so he's gonna tap that Mox Opal and then crack that pedal there, and we're gonna get Steel Overseer with protection.
Neat.
Seems like a good thing. Yeah, we just force that. Yeah. Can't beat it. So
that shows how strong Steel Overseer is. I mean, there's a reason why it's called Steel Stompy, right? Is because the Steel Overseer really is good. It's also can be kind of slow. It's like
Can
a
be.
weird ramp up where it's slow at first. Even if you untap with it, it doesn't necessarily do a lot. But later, if you get it out there with enough stuff, obviously it's really strong. I've played Steel Overseers and in this deck and just gone, please give nothing. They just die. And other times they just win the game. Yeah.
Mishra's Factory. And going down to 16 to play Ravager.
Yep. Brian, this is Brian's deck he quickly put together the last couple days. So he's got a whole weird mesh of different arts and different cards from different sets.
Yeah, he didn't even get the deck done. I want to say he's borrowing a bunch of things.
Yeah, the cities are from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Brainstorm from Ice Age / Masters 25.
The newest Brainstorm. Until the Jace decks come out.
This is an MTGO Brainstorm. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Until the Jace deck.
Yeah. Until the Jace spellbook or whatever it's called comes out.
We play this one online because for some reason this is the one Brian has in Food Chain, and every time it's not correct.
Yep.
It's the incorrect Brainstorm to play. The foil one looks okay. But if you guys were out there and you're like, which Brainstorm should I play? Not that one.
I'd play one of each.
Incorrect also.
What?
Bad advice.
It's great advice. Play one of each. They're all gorgeous in their own way. He could double bolt and actually kill Spellskite, but we'll see if that's something that he tries to do at some point. Or is Jordan just going to nuke his life total even further?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why not go down to like 10? That's a good time.
Whoa.
6. What cost 6 and still Stompy?
It's got to be a Ballista.
Yeah. He's at 1. He's at 10.
He's at 10. Yeah, his life total is definitely good enough. He gets to kill this Deathrite Shaman and keep the creature. His opponent has 2 Lightning Bolts in hand, which really aren't doing that much with a Spellskite on board.
Terry gets to activate one more time here. Put Jordan down to 8.
You see all the duels at the top of his deck. Oh my goodness. There were like 4 duels on the top of his deck.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like a beautiful shuffle.
Yeah, he was that was just much needed. Oh, that die was the life. Okay, well,
we already addressed
above
that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The thing goes up above 20.
Right.
That's funny.
Deathrite's been killed.
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, it's true.
Terry has more money on the table than Jordan does.
Fact.
And fewer permanents.
Too bad the money part doesn't matter.
No, not well. Not during the game.
No. Yeah, his life total's really low. Okay, here's the lightning bolt. Oh, he took it. Oh, that went to face.
Interesting. I mean, you could. So did he just take 2 there? Is
Yeah.
Yeah. So
looks like it.
So a bolt to face and Spellskite redirected, and so Jordan takes 2 off of that lightning bolt.
Here's a Petal, and here's a Caracas. So probably not pulling up the Mishra's Factory. I guess he plans on sacking it, or maybe that's a next turn thing.
So this is where one of those. Yeah, I think you attack with that Mishra's Factory. I don't know why you wouldn't.
I like this. Oh, I like this a lot from Jordan. He's using Mox Opal to tap for blue to keep his life total a little higher. And I believe Terry scoops it up.
Yeah, so what Jordan's able to do there, he's able to sacrifice all of his artifacts to his Ravager, put all of that on Ballista, and he's got lethal next turn.
Hit and then ping.
Yeah.
Well, whoa. That is not what I meant to do.
What?
How did I do that?
So Jordan on
Looks like these
Steel
guys are-
Stompy gets game 1 there. And these
No, that was
guys.
game 2.
Was that game 2?
That was done.
That was it? Whoa.
Yeah, quickly. Yeah, he won with 2 Steel Overseers.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we saw game 1.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens when you do commentary. You get focused on like one thing. It's bad. It's bad. Next thing you know, you have Bryce telling you, "Hey, we already addressed that like 5 minutes ago," and I was like, "Oh, I was thinking about other things."
All right, I'm gonna put up another one.
Putting up more cards.
Yeah.
Was Brian sending you pictures?
Oh, I took
Okay.
pictures before.
I think these guys just got done with game 1. It looked like Calvin was going to clean that one up pretty easily, but I guess we'll wait to see who goes first to know for sure. I do love it when we accidentally pick the match that goes the fastest,
Right.
so that our backup match is relevant.
Yeah.
It's always nice. Always so nice.
I can spell. Don't worry, guys.
Can you?
Yeah.
Prove it. Yeah, so guys, go ahead and give Bryce's altar page a like on Facebook. That's where you can see what he's up to. It looks like he's getting some stuff posted up right now. So if you have his page liked, you get to see his altars when he puts them up.
There's a Facebook altar group
Mhm.
that you can join as well. It's a closed group. You have to join it, but I often put some of my stuff in there.
Yeah.
But if you want to see everything as they go up, you can just see them from my page. Even if you don't want your own altars, you can just vicariously enjoy them.
Yep.
By seeing Brian's.
Yeah.
For free of charge.
I got 5 of them, and I'm done for a while. So that's what I'm doing. I just get to enjoy other people's.
So I calmed down a lot on my people asking for cards.
Mhm.
Wow, I had quite a waiting list for a little while, and then I got through them all, and I was like, oh, okay, well, maybe I'll be able to get some of my own done, right? And then Brian's like, hey, would you do all of these cards for me? I'm like, before Seattle? It's like, yeah, okay, I can do that. And then just this
Yes,
week,
man.
I had like 7 different people
My.
commission new things, and each time I'm like, are you playing in Seattle? Most of them aren't, and so I'm like, okay.
Thank goodness.
So in 2-3 weeks is okay, and they're like, oh yeah, that's fine. It was really weird though.
I'm like, no rush.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right, what's next?
What ones did you post so far?
The Walking Ballistas are up, and the Mist Hologryphons.
Do the Eternal Scourge. That one's
The
super
Eternal
pretty.
Scourge, yeah.
If you did the Walking Ballistas, then you got to do the Eternal Scourge next.
This one in here looks pretty good. You get to see a little bit of the foiling.
Yeah, Brian showed me the video you did of the Tombstalker. The video really shows what's going on with it. For Legacy Good Shane?
Yeah, I can type. Don't worry. There's autocorrect. All right.
Alright, it looks like we're getting started. And Calvin's got a Deathrite Shaman. Not even a Delver. It's a Deathrite Shaman. I checked
What?
this time.
What?
I looked at the card.
I'm not.
That's how I knew
Yeah.
it was a Deathrite Shaman.
I looked with my eyes and I
With my
saw.
eyes. That's what happened.
I'll add a description later. All right. Cards. Published. Now we're going to look at magic.
Okay, fine.
I'm looking with my eyes.
With your eyes.
Yeah. Look, they both played 1-drops.
They did?
You'd think this was Legacy.
You would. The question is, what are they going to do now?
So it's been a while since we've seen Infect, right?
Yes.
On camera.
Mhm.
For a little while, it was more popular.
Yeah.
I think you had players it was really popular in Modern, right? And so they were porting it over into Legacy as a way to get to play Legacy with their Legacy buddies. Because all you really need is the Tropical Islands, and you're about done.
Just $1,000 to go for.
Compared to some other decks.
No biggie.
And you don't even need them. You can just play Shocks.
You can play Shocks.
Yeah.
You probably want at least 2 Tropicals. And 2 shocks would probably work just fine.
Yeah.
But
and Berserks for a while were pretty expensive, but you only needed 1 or 2.
But then they got reprinted in
then
Conspiracy
they
2,
tanked, yeah.
and they become much more available. Yeah, I think it is one of the cheaper Legacy decks.
Especially if you already have the modern part.
Yeah, right.
Fatal Push is a torment. Yeah. Between Fatal Push and Gitaxian Probe getting the combination of 1 getting printed and 1 getting banned, that really hurt.
Modern, yeah. But this deck's much different. You still have the Gitaxian Probes. Okay. Now other decks do have Fatal Push, but it's not like they're everywhere, right? Like decks aren't packing 4 Fatal Pushes. Maybe 1 or 2. I don't even know if I've seen 1 with 3. Maybe.
Nah.
But
no, there's too many other good cards. All right, so there's some infect damage on a dice right in the middle of the battlefield, right where you put infect damage.
Yep, that's where it is.
It just hangs out, floats around, right there.
So Grafdigger's Cage just got played by Robert.
Okay. Sometimes you have cards in your sideboard and you bring them in, and they don't really do anything.
It'll do. Okay, so this is going to interact with Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. That's it.
Is that actually just all? Like
Cabal Therapy.
Cabal Therapy. Right. That card is not doing much.
No, I don't think if I was playing Infect I'd bring it in. But
the only reason I could see bringing it in is maybe they boarded out something worse. I don't know. Don't you just want a bunch of creatures and pump spells in this matchup? Like, don't you want to kill them on like turn 2 or 3?
Ooh, Daze takes out Colligan's Command.
Yeah, that seems like a good thing for Robert. In fact, Robert's in a really good position. Calvin needs to deal with. There's 2 Infectors to deal with.
Yeah, the K command could have waited, and probably should have. You could have played around Daze. Calvin probably hasn't played against Legacy Infect a heck of a lot, or at least not recently. But
I think most players in this store have not, unless they're playing a good amount online. Because even online, I've noticed a huge downtick with this deck, which is funny because it's a good deck. It's a really good deck.
So Calvin just took the damage there. Ooh, and then Fatal pushed after. So
yes,
I believe the correct way to play this is you save your removal for the pumps, right? And you just keep taking damage unless you have excess removal.
Yes.
Sure, but he just took the infect damage there and then played Fatal Push.
I've actually played against a lot of infect, a lot. Mostly it was in modern, but that is the way that you do it.
Yeah,
they attack, you wait, and you can take 1 infect over and over and over again. Okay, so you wait, and then after combat, you target their creature. So this way, if it's like a lightning bolt, they have to pump, not during combat.
Right.
And they're too scared to pump during combat, just because if they do pump and then you kill it, then they're losing too many cards. So I actually really like this line by Calvin.
You always use removal after damage. Okay, yeah, just like that.
This is where Gitaxian Probe really comes into play, right? Like you get to see, okay, does my opponent have a way to kill this? Can I invest in this creature? Right. Yep, and here's infect creature number 2. This is going to attack for 2. Now, Strix is in the way. Wow, whoa.
He's got another one. It's okay.
So in all technicality, this Inkmoth doesn't die till the end of the turn. Oh no, it has that touch. What am I thinking? Yeah, just easy trade, but he does have another Inkmoth.
Yes. Infect is not simple.
No, it's super grindy. Now it does have the ability to win on like turn 2, turn 3, but that's not normal. It is not normal.
You do have to do half the damage. That's true. With 1/1s instead of 5/5s. So you need 6 cards in order to deal half the damage. K command gets. Is that another Daze on this K command? Did that happen again?
Yep.
Ouch.
Here's the Thoughtseize. So we finally get to see what's going on over here. We've got an Invigorate, a Flusterstorm, and a Tropical Island. That's not much. This isn't even enough. Oh no, it would be exactly lethal if this invigorate. Huh. I wonder what Calvin's got going, because I only see the Force of Will in his hand. Okay, so Snapcaster is turned off due to Cage. There's a Leovold, which doesn't look like that's going to matter too much. Not sure what the third card is. It's a Polluted Delta. I don't think any of these three cards are cards that Calvin's looking for at the moment.
So naturally, he'll keep him on top.
I also don't. I think Calvin has one other card that I wasn't able to see. So if it's removal, then I understand where Calvin's going with this. But Robert can go for the kill this turn. The Invigorate threatens lethal. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he does have it completely foiled. Mm-hmm. Yep, there's a fatal push.
Another fatal push.
Mm-hmm. And that is going to be successful. So now it's making a lot more sense.
Yeah.
Yep. A lot more sense.
If he hadn't taken the Flusterstorm there, Robert may have been able to draw enough pump spells to play them and then Flusterstorm would have been able to counter the removal. There's Leovold. He's a 3/3 that does nothing.
Now it does something. Before it didn't. Robert would have just won, right?
Yeah.
Or over the course of 2 turns, just hit for 3. If there's no removal there. But now that the game is actually going to drag on a little longer due to there not being an infect creature, Leovold's doing a lot, shutting down every single cantrip.
Yeah.
Another card that pushed infect to the side.
See what you did. Fatally.
Oh
so
yeah.
The deck's practically dead.
Pretty much.
Yep.
Definitely looked good there.
Calvin's one of the few players I know who has invocated everything he can invocate.
Mm-hmm.
He's an invocationer.
Invocationer. That is the correct term.
That's what he is. We call him Calvin the Invocationer. That's not what we call him.
Nope, it's not.
Nobody's ever said that.
Mm-mm.
To each their own, I guess, right?
Yeah. So now Calvin's just holding on to a Snapcaster Mage and a Force of Will. The Force of Will's definitely looking good at this moment. Robert needs an infect creature now. And it's
maybe an unblockable one.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
So I'm not sure if Robert knows this, but I think his Dryad Arbor does need to be not with his lands. after the recent I just barely noticed it.
There.
Oh, there we go. Attack for 3. Beat that, Calvin.
I'll not block. Do you want to invigorate it? Do you want to give me 4 life so you can? How's that math work out?
No, I think he would invigorate to kill Leovold though. Depends.
All right, the infect player is down to 12. He's just the infect player now.
Oh,
he doesn't get a name.
Poor Robert.
No,
I mean infect player.
Yeah, correct. Calvin, on the other hand, is playing a much more interesting deck. I mean, he doesn't have Delver, but
then how's it interesting?
It's more interesting.
Oh, more.
Has Underground Seas, right? So there's no other deck. You want to put swords in Infect? I don't think you need to do that. I mean, you could. That'd be neat.
You could. Why do you care about their creatures?
Yeah. Usually you just get to fly over or
why not just kill them instead?
Be blighted agented and not care. Infect's actually the 75 is pretty, or at least the main deck 60 is pretty tight. There's Red Arbor for some amount of damage. How much life do you gain off Invigorate?
I think it's 4. 4 to give +3/+3.
I'm not sure that math checks out.
Yeah, why is
you gain 3 life? You give them 3 life. It gets ++.
Oh, okay.
4+4.
Oh, it gets plus.
So
I had it opposite.
+1 damage.
My bad.
That Invigorate is really, but plus Berserk. Is that what's happening here? It's a piracy charm.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
It's the blue planar chaos charm.
just what we expect. So piracy charm was going to. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
How would you know?
Right. We're in F's. Now we're in I's, M's. Hey, look, piracy charm. There it is.
You knew.
So he was giving it what, +2, -1 there, or giving it Island Walk. Maybe he was giving it Island Walk.
Maybe.
Right.
I'm gonna pull it up for people because this is something that people play with all the time.
Mm-hmm. Calvin threw out a Snapcaster, and that's all.
Or target player discards. Blue has a way to make a player discard a card at instant speed.
Oh yeah.
What is going on? What is going on right now?
It's the color shifted, right?
What is going on?
Back when in Planar Chaos, these cards that had this alternate frame, every single one of them that has the dark blue or dark whatever color, with the white text instead of black, was a color shifted card. So it's purposefully off of color. You get weird things happening.
No kidding.
Like white got a counter spell.
Oh, the green curiosity.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, all of these things that happened. It's a great time.
So much fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, his was foiled too, I believe.
I mean, if you're gonna get one of those, I mean, you may as well just foil it out, right?
I'm not sure what this little blue ball has anything to do with pirates, but neat.
Pirates like cool things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like gold.
Yeah.
And skulls.
Cool trinkets.
Keys.
Keys.
Doubloons.
Pretty sure they like it.
I'm not sure about blue.
I think they like booze too.
Wizard D balls.
That is exactly how I would have described it.
Yeah, wizards. It's a wizard charm. We're stuck in tank mode here. Oh, tank mode discovered.
Yep.
I cannot win.
Calvin gets there.
Yeah, Days in the Land is not enough to do anything. All right. So 4-color won round 2, and we saw Steel Stompy win round 2. Just as we expected.
Right, totally. Pirates have a terrible mouth. Why? Have you been meeting some pirates recently, Zolia?
Time to post more cards.
Are you gonna show us the cards?
You can pull it up.
Okay.
What else hasn't been posted? Let's put this Tombstalker up.
All right, let's look at Bryce's altar page. Let's talk more about these. Look, he just posted an Eternal Scourge.
Yeah,
it's right there. I'm a fan.
So this is cool. The foiling, certain foil cards, the subject, the character or the creature is foiled, and some of it the background's foiled. Like if you look at a True Name Nemesis is a bad example because it's not foiled, but True Name Nemesis, the character itself is really in shadow, obscure,
right.
And so you just recognize the entire piece of art, and like has anybody actually looked at this thing? And there's like multiple legs and arms and things, and
It's an Eldrazi.
you really get to see
all
it
normal.
now. It's kind of fun. Here's the Mistala Griffins. So Brian asked me to give it play with infinity, and I'd been doing a lot of things with a lot of circles. So I found this pattern digitally, and this one was a challenge because the pattern digitally worked, and it really came across well. It was a challenge to get it actually to work on card. It's fun because it's something a little different. The pattern itself had all of these circles, and each place that they touched, there was kind of this bloom happening into the next circle, and it just kept getting smaller and smaller. But you have this really strong, cool spiral thing that's happening behind this really dark griffin, and it's fun. The colors work.
So I actually found out today while I was sorting through some cards. Did you know there is a land that you can tap, and it gives +1/+1 to target griffin you control?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
That's awesome. Let's see. Did I get this up? Maybe I didn't post it yet. Oh, I'll do it right now. For legacy, there's one more down if you want to scroll down.
Just gonna get a table up here so we can see things.
I'll put some descriptions up of these later. But so here's the ballistas. Again, I was trying to find patterns that felt like the food chain combo. Where since that's the whole point of the deck is to combo off and go infinite.
Yep.
And I thought this worked really well. I thought about using a gold, a metallic gold on this one, but this way the card itself, the art is really shiny and it moves in your hand really nicely, and then you have these matte colors behind it, and it's fun. And then I just posted this Tombstalker now.
Let's just put felt altars should be felters.
Brian said they should be falters.
Falters.
So this one was fun. I just had the idea. I've been doing this matte black, right? And can I play it again? There we go. And so I have a gloss black that I put over it, and so you don't really see it at first. Wow, that's neat. Let's just make you not get to see it. But once you pick it up, or once you see it on the table from different light, you really get this cool effect, almost like a foil effect in the actual ink.
I want my whole cube done like this.
It's a pretty simple effect. It's actually a little easier than some of the other legacy cards I've done.
Yeah.
And then I just did. Let me post one more for you guys as we're waiting here. I did a murderous cut to go along with it, and I just finished that up today. I don't have the video of it, but I took this same vibe, the same thing, and just took it kind of a step further. Do this one.
Yeah, the video really does show what's going on. It's kind of incredible that like we'll show it like to the camera in person and be like, "Hey, look," and everybody's just like,
Yeah.
I don't see anything, but go on."
All right, let's try. I'll do 2 pictures this time. I don't have a video of this one.
Brian should have gotten a foil of the Manacos on the side one.
Yeah, I looked and
They're pricey.
So the problem with it is that the Future Sight frame, it all goes down the side of the card, right? And you have all this mana cost stuff here, and then it kind of continues and curves in here
through the text box.
And so you'd want to leave it all. You'd want to leave all of that frame. It looks really pretty.
You'd have much less room to work with.
There really wouldn't be much I'd want to do to the card. All right. This one. So here's the murderous cut. And this one I just finished today. I just had the idea. Let's just run with this gloss black thing And what if we added just a little bit of color into it? And so you get this little bit of green coming off of the blades, and it's really hard to make out in this, but you can imagine this in a video again. Mm-hmm. Instead of the kind of the tribal patterns, you have this kind of Japanese brush style moving through the art, and it turned out pretty cool. And then
I really like it.
I started to actually go over some of the text box just a little bit with this one, because again, the art in this one is really dark, especially on the foil. It's amazing. I pulled up there's an actual print you can get, and it's really pretty and bright, and you can see the character. There's all this detail, and then on the card, it's so dark. But yeah, you get a variety of different things here. The other card, let's see if it is this Deathrite Chum. This one was the first one I did for Brian, and there's no line work on this one at all. It's just airbrush black. But what's really cool is you're able to use the airbrush as a way to darken parts of the art, and then really highlight other parts. And it's really subtle, but it comes out really nice. So that's actually what I'm going to try and do for a lot of my Delver deck.
Okay.
I'm going to see how much I can get done here before next week. But I'm going to try and do Delvers, obviously. And then I picked up Ponders and several other pieces. Young Pyromancers, all in foil that I'm going to have.
Yeah, that's great.
Altered out.
So who else is getting psyched for Seattle? I know I am. I've already looked into all the cards that I need to get signed. There are a ton of artists there. I'm really excited.
Felters. I like it less.
So what do you have coming up as far as alters go? Like what are you doing now that you've done Brian's things?
Yeah, Brian's was kind of a rush, get a lot done. And mail came today.
Yes.
Okay. And then
that's for me.
Obviously, I'm trying to get all of my my deck done. Mm-hmm. Crystal here, who plays Eldrazi, is going to have me do a couple Eldrazi cards for her. Awesome. I'm not sure what we're going to do with them yet. Just a variety of different things. Masterpiece, sending it off to Scotland. The shipping is about the same price as the altar. Yep. I kind of wanted to be like, dude, don't you want like 3 or 4? Because
okay, yeah.
And I've got a couple people here that are going to have me do some altars, and a couple of people from the stream. It's really cool that you guys like them enough to order your own. That's really sweet. It's been fun. I've been doing a lot of the same things, and I purposely posted a bunch of older ideas online, just on my page. Some older stuff where I was just, hey, here's an idea. Let's see what this would look like. Here's a different idea. Let's see what this would look like. But I did them quite a while ago, so they don't look as nice. So it's kind of this weird. You've improved as an artist. Yeah, they would look better if you wanted something like that. But there's a whole bunch of variety of different things. So
you did those brainstorms pretty recently, didn't you?
Yeah. These ones haven't even gone out.
I don't even think we've talked. Have we talked about these
brainstorms real quick? You can jump back. I don't know. We can talk about it. These brainstorms are part of the Storm deck, the Legacy Storm deck, that kind of got all of this started. These arcane circles. This one's kind of fun. I took the old. This is the old Ice Age frame, right? And so you have this beveled edge that I left, and then I brought it down and just left the blue here because they're offset.
Okay.
I think it's kind of a neat effect, and then I just brought this pattern just a little bit onto the blue. I think it's a neat way of leaving color in the card, but also having a lot of black, and the black bleeds into the art a little bit. Yeah, so these are going in a Storm deck. I've done several cards for it. I think I'll do a post eventually with just all of the Legacy cards or the Storm cards, but let's see if I can pull up some of them. Quickly scroll down. Yeah, so you got some weird, just weird things that I messed around with. More abstract.
Les says he wants an altar, but he wants you to choose the art.
Whoa. And
The art for some swords.
These are going in. These went in
A test deck?
no. They
Or
went.
no.
They went in a Charbelcher deck.
Oh, a Charbelcher.
They're
That's
one
right.
of the only cards that it can't be foiled. These turned out really cool. They were fun to do.
Are you still working on these
No,
ones?
he hasn't asked for more yet. I don't
Okay.
know. Don't know what the plan is there. So here's tendrils for the storm deck. This one turned out a little differently in that the pattern itself I airbrushed this on, and then this is all line work that I did. And it's a one of in the deck. But okay, so here's the petals. Somebody else recently has asked me to do something just like these. They're cool. There's a fun effect where you can change where the border is just by just a simple line, and it's amazing how it changes the card a lot.
Yeah.
If you imagine this card without this line, it feels very different. But it's also thinner than the regular border. It's just neat how little subtle things you can do to change a Magic card. But again, here's this idea. I found some art. I went through several different cards. Always bragging. Yeah. Talking about things.
That's what we do.
Whoa. Did you alter Brea? Sorry. We were talking about Storm. Brea is just a masterpiece. Here it is. I've done two actually. So this one I did a little bit of gold over the masterpiece instead of silver and silver to match the text box. Most of the masterpieces I do are a silver. And we're just still killing time, right? We're just waiting? Yeah. And then somebody asked me, hey, could you do one like that? I don't know if I posted it actually. With pink. So yeah, I haven't put it up yet. So there's one just like that, but instead of gold, I did just a tinge of pink. Sorry, as I scroll quickly. Instead of the gold. So I kind of took this color right here in this lightning and put it into the frame. And it turned out pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you guys want to see that, I can certainly put it up. And it's fun to see what you can do. I've done quite a few of these masterpieces now, right? And they're kind of all the same thing.
Yep.
And I've definitely gotten to the point where it's like, sure, I'll do one for you.
Yeah.
I'll do another one. Okay.
Well, people see them and they're like, "This is really cool," and you've done like 100 of them.
Yeah.
So you're like, "Oh, if you say so." Yeah.
But there's a lot of room to play with this and do a variety of different borders or something like it and really make something unique. I really liked the elves that are down here. The idea behind those. Let's see where they end up. Sorry, I haven't had to use as much. The idea behind this was to do an entire commander deck. Right. And we actually started with, it's a blue-green commander elf.
Azuri.
Yeah. And so the first one I did had blue and green elements mixed into it. So the idea being this same pattern could be used on a blue card and on a green card and just tweaked depending on the colors of the card. I think it's really cool and a really cool way of making an entire commander deck. Instead of foiling it out, making it all custom and unique.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a like an unglued frame in a way, right? They have this arch happening in it.
Mm-hmm.
But again, not actually changing the art at all, just changing the frame.
I did just notice that the power and toughness on the Arbor Elf and the Elvish Mystics get that box.
Yeah.
And the other two do not.
Right. So I actually charge less for these than I do these.
Oh, really?
I have to clean out all of this text and all of this.
Yeah.
And you don't have to do that on this. So, real quick, I'll show you guys some more Storm decks as we're just or Storm Legacy cards. These ones turned out really cool. These ones also go in the Charbelcher deck, and the client asked for something that was green but also red, and so finding this pattern and then coloring it in a way that it transitioned down, I think it turned out really cool. Again, the subtle line on the edge changing where the border is, and you get kind of this interesting box thing happening where there's multiple frames, and it makes the deck. I know we've talked about this one before, but the art on this one is just horrid. It's not good Magic art. There's this weird thing of like 3 trees and some dudes kind of behind it, and this dude doing something. It makes no sense whatsoever. But
it's a wall of Tinder.
This turned out really cool. I think I was really worried about doing it.
Yeah, we definitely talked about it before you were doing that, and you were like, "Yeah, I hate this," and I was like, "You'll do great."
This Dark Ritual was really fun to do. He said he wanted a Dark Rit, right? This is for Storm, and there's several different card arts for Dark Ritual.
Yeah.
But I found this one and thought, okay, not only does it have the modern frame, so it's a little cheaper for me to do it, but finding this pattern where it like lined up perfectly with the character.
It almost looks like it's like a necklace.
Yeah,
it's like hanging off of his neck, doesn't it?
It's funny though. I posted this one in a larger group as one of the first cards I posted there, and people are like, "Did you use a pentagram for deeper meaning?" It's like,
Yeah, yes.
I found a pattern that kind of was like a Dark Ritual, and it made it work. Batu Sai has heard about these altars.
Nuh-uh.
He might even own one or two.
Maybe.
So anyway, I mean, you guys can obviously go see these yourself, but
looks like people are about to start sitting down.
There we go. Now I don't have to try and fill time.
Excellent.
Safe. And I'll post more. I've got a few more from this 3-chain deck. I'll put up.
I'll probably start sitting down here in a minute.
What's the last card? Hasn't gone up yet. We got the Scourge, we got the Cup, Tombstalker, the Ballistas, and the Griffins. Maybe that's it. Oh, and then there's the Baleful Strixes.
Who we got? Jordan versus Calvin, Gabriel versus Remy. Should we watch Gabriel versus Remy?
Yeah. Let's see what Remy's doing today. He's been playing Tess, right?
Tez.
Not Tess. Well,
those are two very different things.
Yeah.
Alright, so I think we have Gabriel on our right, I think. Maybe. I think Gabriel usually plays... I think he plays Blackwood Reanimator. Alright, to get that time updated.
Whoa, we get to see magic.
Yeah, right? It's been a minute. Alright, what's gonna happen here? Is this show and tell? Yeah, I think Gabriel is on show and tell. Yep, and we've got Tezzeret. Tez.
I think you and I are going to be a little shocked by some of the decks that we encounter in Seattle. We're so used to our little local meta game of 30 or 40 players that play here. We see like 0 Reanimator. I haven't had to play against Reanimator in months.
But there was a time that we did, though.
Oh, yeah.
There was a time where we had to play against it all the time.
I had to play against it on Friday, and it was like, what's happening?
Yeah, you know I'm going to see that deck and be like, where are my ley lines? You know, like, why am I... Oh, yeah, I'm not running my ley lines because we haven't seen that in
and
a
same
while.
thing with show and tell. We have like no show and tell in our meta.
Sometimes Davis will play it.
Yeah, there's one or two.
Yeah.
It's going to be like 20% of the metagame.
Not even. Not 20%. Definitely not 20%.
No, you'll see it a lot.
Yeah. I think people around here think show and tell is somewhat of a boring deck. I would agree with them. However, the deck is incredibly powerful.
Yeah.
It is so strong.
And so is Reanimator.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very similar decks actually. Just one of them has blue.
And right,
makes them a little stronger.
And then, of course, you have Burn as well that we never really play with here, interact with here.
My roommate has Burn. That's his deck, actually.
Do you ever play against him though?
No.
Do you want to play Burn? No. I'm good.
The answer is always
do anything else. Actually,
anything else. No, I'm gonna go cartwheel out in the parking lot.
Pretty much. Do you know how to cartwheel? No.
No, definitely not.
All right.
Do
Turn
I
one
look like a guy with car wheels?
in the tank.
Don't answer that.
Remy is deciding. Do
Yeah.
I pass the turn now or in a moment? Oh, he passed the turn.
Like almost 100% this is show and tell. The sneak and show. Sneak and show.
Those are the keys that make the title.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it's just an early show and tell. Just running it out
It's
against the
yours.
blue deck, having no idea what your opponent has
Oh,
on.
you know what it's gonna be too? It's gonna be in the snaring bridge.
Ooh.
Show and tell.
Show and tell on one
Just
side.
slam in snaring bridge. No,
Yeah.
we got to force.
Yeah.
We got to force.
Remy's like, nope, not having that.
Show and tell is boring. Yeah,
But it's
I
against
agree.
Tez. We might get to
It's
see Tez
powerful.
actually do Tez things.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Pitch Padeem.
Oh, now you know what I'm on.
Yeah, right.
You had no idea, now you do.
Well, you might have artifacts in your deck. Maybe. We're gonna find out. This is a Vault of Whispers. Yep, artifacts. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we've locked in what we're doing here.
Yeah.
So now he needs Ensnaring Bridge plus Abyss.
Which is a
Done.
thing he has, I think.
Done. Yeah, he does. Yeah.
On the other table, we have that Steel Stompy deck versus four color control.
Yeah, let me get that set up.
This one certainly might go longer than that one, but Chalice on one.
On something, because you can totally see what's going on right now.
All right. Does Chalice win?
Yes. Usually.
Tez is love. Show and tell number 2. Okay, so when Gabriel ran out show and tell number 1 in the dark, like that,
Yeah.
you're just asking for it to be countered, right?
Mhm.
That's a great play if you have another show and tell in your hand.
Yes.
Grizzlebrand, Dak Faden. You can't actually put out a Dak Faden. That
No.
doesn't work.
I think that's what Gabriel's telling him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put
But
a permanent
here-
into play,
here's
except
a-
that one.
Here's a Thopter Foundry.
It's almost the same thing.
Now all he needs is like a ton more mana and Sword of the Meek. And then you can just block Gristlebrand like all day and hope that Gabriel decks. Okay.
Strix?
Okay.
What's the thing?
Hey, look, there's a Sword of the Meek.
I'm pretty sure Gabriel's just going to draw 7 to 14 cards here, play a show and tell or a sneak attack, and win. But
All right, I like this. We've got a Chalice on 1 and Chalice on 0.
Chalice on 0 shuts down Lotus Petals,
Yes.
and you weren't going to cast it on 2, so
Yeah, Chris, this is actually one of my favorite decks as well. I would love to build it, but it's easily one of the most expensive decks in Legacy. It's so pricey if you want to build it like as good as it can get. Right?
correctly.
Yeah. You need like what, 4 Mox Diamonds. You need an Abyss. No biggie.
Yeah, online that's only like what,
You
20
need
bucks.
Ensnaring Bridges and
$15?
Chalices.
Yeah.
But like every card in the deck outside of like the Thopter combo is like decently expensive. I guess Belfast Strixes are pretty cheap as well.
All right, City of Traders, traded,
Yep, sure did.
and sneak attack.
Now what?
Sneak attack. There it is. It's way over there.
Way over there.
I'm using my entire playmat for this
Yeah.
match. That's great. It's like a global enchantment. That's
Could
just
you
hanging
imagine?
out.
Could you imagine if Remy had taken his Belfast Strix and put it like way up in the top like, of his play space?
Ah, yeah, you got all the cards cheap.
Genius. Yeah, I actually have my bridges now, but just one step at a time.
Yep.
I'll get there eventually. Probably years from now, but something I'll always be working
Chalice
towards.
is being reprinted at a mythic rarity, keeps them above 50 instead of $30 or whatever that they could have settled if they were rare.
Yeah, I'll get them eventually. We'll see. I'm not getting them now. That's for sure.
Gabriel has to discard some cards because he drew so many. Baleful Strix just blocked the Grizzlebrand. I don't really like that play.
You would have just taken the 7?
I would have just would have.
Why attack?
I guess he gained life, right?
Yeah.
And did he gain life and draw cards? I don't think he did.
I don't think he did either.
I think I would have, unless you just have it all in hand. I think I would have drawn 7 more cards right there.
Yeah, I have the option to trade for 1 right now. It'd be my first one. It's something that I really want to do.
So if Gabriel doesn't have the win in hand, he very easily could have drawn 7 more cards there before his Grizzlebrand died. He would have gone down to a low-ish life total, but
interesting. So force, pitch, Flusterstorm.
Okay.
Does he have a threat? I don't even know that he does. I feel like he should have drawn 7, but he'll probably find one eventually if he doesn't already. Tarn. Looks like he's going to crack that now. Probably finding another volcanic.
Similarly, that Force of Will is kind of odd too. Forcing a deck that's not really doing anything.
It's not doing anything.
Sure, it would draw Remy 2 cards, but keeping your Force of Will to counter their force.
Well, I think Remy has another Dak Vaden, and that's right. Isn't that the other card in his hand? And now that that one's countered, it's like, okay, I just have another one.
Oh, look, that's a number.
Okay,
he's got the thing, so he didn't need to draw more cards.
Yeah.
Oh, he's got all the things.
Oh, he has.
Yeah,
actually just has that.
He just wins. Actually, that's what he did.
Okay.
So, all of that commentary, just ignore any of it.
All of it.
Let's both apologize to Gabriel for being horrible human beings.
We couldn't see his hand.
Yeah.
Well, like the fact that he didn't draw just implies that he just has a ton of stuff.
You just have everything you need.
Yeah.
Look, Sneak and Show showed and then it sneaked.
It did.
It's showing sneak now.
All right, so let's take a look at our backup match here. We've got Jordan on Steel Stompy. We got to see him in round 2, I believe. And I think we saw Calvin last round as well.
Calvin has some death rights.
He does.
There's 3 of them.
He has 3.
They're death writing.
They sure are. And he's got a Baleful Strix.
On the other side, Jordan had the flyer that wasn't going to get blocked. Now it will. And a Thorn of Amethyst as well.
A Thorn of Amethyst and a Hangerback Walker. So Hangerback Walker is an interesting one. It's very much like Walking Ballista in the way that like it's double X as its casting cost, and you just kind of get counters as it comes in. But it has the ability to tap to put another +1/+1 counter on it. When it dies is the big thing, though.
Right.
When it dies, you get Thopters with flying, equal to the number of +1/+1 counters that was on Hangerback Walker. This can be pretty brutal, mostly with Arclight Manager.
Right. So I've seen some lists that have cut these entirely from the deck, the walkers.
Yeah.
And I think that's incorrect because of the ability to just combo off.
It is incredibly powerful. How's it going, Captain QC? Good to see you.
Welcome in.
How did your legacy go tonight? He just said evening, folks, and he didn't even give us an update. That's not normal.
Yeah, just said hi.
Yeah.
Maybe he went 0-3.
He probably did. He's probably too embarrassed to tell us.
Probably so.
Yeah, so end of turn there, he uses Mox Opal, put another counter on Hangerback Walker.
0-2?
Versus 2 Miracles-ish decks. Ouch. Alright, here's a City of Traders. Now, this is not doing a whole lot. You punted an unlosable game for...
I just like the word unlosable. That looks great.
When you lose an unlosable game, is that like stopping an unstoppable force?
Uh-huh. Yep.
Or like moving an
universe
immovable object?
Briefly, the matrix glitches. That's what happens. Unlosable.
So no attack with the Vault Scourge. It looks like he's just gonna sit back. We get an activation from Deathrite Shaman.
Do you want to take a peek at our other match?
I guess so.
Jump over, or are we gonna stay here? This is more interesting. I'm not even playing it.
I think this match is going to go on for a little while. Let's stay with the Sneak and Show player and
Okay.
catch up a little later.
See if Tez can survive.
All they need to do is put an ensnaring bridge in off of Show and Tell.
Yeah.
That's all they need to do.
And done.
Yep, then done. This does look like an interesting game, though.
I think the Steel Stompy. I think Jordan can do great things once he gets a Ravager.
I actually think he's going to go get a Ravager. He got Inventor's Fair, and he can activate this at end of turn to go get Ravager. I would expect that to happen. He can do that and pump the Hanger Backwalker.
Ooh.
That does get in the way, especially if he decides to bounce Hanger back.
Yeah. Jace resolves. There's no counter magic in Steel Stompy.
All right, let's jump back over.
And it's
This is an interesting match,
Yeah.
but we are going to jump back over.
We'll watch this more interesting? Less interesting. Hey, look at Chalice on 1.
Yep, Chalice on 1. That's
Very
a good
interesting.
thing.
You guys were, I mean, this is interactive magic right here at its finest.
So this doesn't really stop any of like the pieces to win the game from Gabriel,
right?
But it does shut him off all of his cantrips.
And there's a lot. There's
lot.
Ponder, there's Preordain, there's Brainstorm.
Yeah.
And all of those are there just to go find the things you need.
Mm-hmm.
There's even Flusterstorm.
Yep. Turn 2 play a Baleful Strix. Maybe he'll find a mana source. He does. Play the Badlands.
Which one?
The worst one.
The worst lands.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good.
Not even the second
They're
worst.
about as good as Captain QC's gameplay today.
Yeah, seriously.
Mm-hmm.
No, I didn't even want to mention that. Some things just don't deserve being mentioned, you know?
Oh, that one did.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see if Sneak and Show can do anything.
Man, now that you mentioned that, I wish we got to do commentary on Captain QC every week.
Oh, look, he got a draw. Oh, this is an unlosable game, but he managed to lose it.
I would applaud. Like I would like stand up and start clapping.
All right, here's a show and tell, just like Gabriel drew it up.
Yeah.
Turn 2.
Remy does not have the hand for this either.
There's no ensnaring bridge or.
No, he's got another Thopter Foundry.
Okay. Grizzlebrand. You gave your opponent the winning Charbelcher used to kill you. Yep, that would have been fun to commentate on.
Yeah, really would have.
What did he steal it with? He stole it with Dak. That's great. That's a story you get to tell forever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Either that or it's a story we'll tell forever.
Yep. Remember that time that we weren't there but we heard about?
Just wanted to make sure you still remembered. Alright, so we did get a draw 7. So what do you think? You think Gabriel has literally everything he needs now?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
He can find a sneak attack if he wants to. He can find an Emrakul if he wants to. You can just get another show and tell. He can discard a few of these cards. He could play sneak attack and a land and attack, sneak something out next turn. Or he can just win.
Good.
And if he doesn't have it, what he can do is he could wait till next turn, draw 7 more cards main phase, find whatever piece he's missing, whether it's a sneak attack or the Emrakul, play an attack, and quite possibly Remy would only have 6 permanents that he'd have to sack all of them. Yeah, Dak Vaden can do some fun things.
Definitely.
It's also just subpar enough that I think often you're playing it to do fun things, not to necessarily because it's the best card to do to play.
I feel like every time I see it played, that's how I feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm like, that could be a lot of other things.
I played a deck and stole my opponent's Batter Scold. It was and that didn't work. But it was like the best line if it was an out where I could steal it and then equip it to my own creature to kill the Jern.
All right, so the draw here for Remy is Blood Moon. Let's think about this for a moment and realize that this does actually just nothing.
No, nothing at all.
Yeah, so let's play a Signet instead,
Mm-hmm.
because the Signet actually does more than Blood Moon.
One player has a 7/7 life link, draw a bunch of cards. The other player has a Signet.
Yeah, but there's a Baleful Strix on the board, so how can Remy lose?
So Remy was able to get out some more permanents, so he doesn't just lose to the trigger on an Emrakul now. But drawing a bunch of cards, playing a sneak attack, playing another show and tell, whatever you want to do. Show and tell is a fair Magic card.
You're just hanging out with your classmates. Whoa, Jesse just sent us a novel.
Yeah, the timing on Grizzlebrand activation matters. It didn't hurt to do it there once.
I don't mind him doing it here, and the reason is because of Chalice. Like, you are going to have cards to discard.
Yep.
Just get rid of your Ponders, get rid of the Flusterstorm that he got rid of, extra lands. Like, in this scenario, I don't mind it, but otherwise, I agree.
Yeah, and he could have found some Force of Wills, all sorts of good fun things.
Blood Moon and Omniscience comes down.
Yeah.
All right.
What do you got, opponent?
So just nothing.
What are you going to do with those mountains now?
Nothing.
That all your spells are free.
Like, listen, man, I already said no.
Just. Oh, okay. I was going to say, do you pass the turn? No. He's going to draw.
You have Omniscience. You got to draw.
He's going to go down to 5.
And you play all the things.
So we should really dissect and talk about the intricacies of this sneak and show deck and how you just play the cards and win with them.
That's actually just what you do.
Yeah. You turn them sideways.
Yep, so get rid of the blockers. Then this way,
Take an extra turn.
So we can take an extra turn.
This is very lethal. And Remy gives him a hand.
All right, we're done.
Well done. He didn't even turn him sideways.
Okay, so this is the same game.
Whoa.
So now we've got a Sword of Fire and Ice on the Hangerback Walker.
This is way more interesting.
We're jumping in at the right time. This is all fine.
There's a death threat that just chump blocks and doesn't even activate.
Why would you board in Blood Moon? I honestly don't know. It doesn't make any sense.
It cuts the soul lands if you get it down early enough.
Not only that, but they play with Lotus Petal.
Yeah.
So I don't think Blood Moon is a good card there.
All right. So like you said, we got a Sword of Fire and Ice on a Hangerback Walker. We've got a Walking Ballista as well. That's it on Jordan's side as far as creatures.
Yep.
And it's probably enough.
I don't see any instants and sorceries. So Jordan's not going to give a lot of instants and sorceries to Calvin for his death rights. However,
he's going to gain some life though here.
Yes.
All right. So Calvin goes up to 8, and he can do it one more time. You can see the Lodestone Golem there. That's another taxing effect that this deck has. Some of them play 1 or 2. Some play a full set of 4. So it's a Chalice, Thorn of Amethyst, Lodestone Golem deck.
Yep. Okay. And Steel Orbs here.
Up to 10. That might be enough.
I think it looks like Calvin's going to get this one. But what do I know?
There might be There might still be some play here. Walking Ballista could shoot the Strix.
I think this is all that really needs to happen, though. Jordan's at 5. All Calvin needs to do is continue to brainstorm, and get a couple more activations off these death rights.
Yeah.
I don't
just as long as you get some stuff in the graveyard. Some
Ravager would be an incredible draw. Yep. Yes.
And I'm trying to see if is there some combination of getting the Walking Ballista to die, so you have a 1/1 flyer, and then equipping it with a sword. It still wouldn't be enough. You'd be able to take out Jace though. All right, here's a Thoughtseize. That's going to ultimately be 2 damage to Jordan. Discards the 1 card. We'll see how it plays out. And we're not sure if this is game 2.
I think this is game 1. Those 2 games happened very quickly.
Yeah, this might just be.
And this one looks like a longer, grindy one. Inventor's Fair. Well, that'll get you a Ravager. The question is, does he have the mana without using Ancient Tunes? Oh, broke the carry. Okay. Yeah, I think Calvin's got this one.
Is there a City of Traders in there for Jordan?
No, I think it's Ancient Tomb, Wasteland.
It's a city.
Is it a city? If it's a city, it should be dead. Right? You're right. That is totally a city.
I'll make it with it. He's trying to figure out if he's got a line, and I just interrupted his thinking. That's the worst. Yeah. Should have done it. Should have waited for him to finish tanking there.
I don't really think he has a line, but yeah. So no attack has been done. So he'll activate and get a Ravager.
Yep. This almost would work. He has enough mana to play the Ravager, right? Through the Thorn doesn't tax it. But he'd lose 2 life. So is it worth it to play it right here?
I don't think he can. There's 2 black up, and there's abrupt decay and Thoughtseize.
Yep, so that doesn't work.
Yeah, so he dies.
Yeah, now he dies.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to ask him what game 1. Apologize for interrupting right in the spot.
Alright, so it sounds like I was right. From what I can hear. That was game 1.
So they're moving on to game 2.
Woohoo! We have more magic.
We don't have to look at more altars.
Oh. Yeah, that would be awful to look at more altars. Just terrible.
So the problem with not interrupting him there while he's tanking is that he might use the mana as part of his tanking, right? His line is thinking through things through.
It's a sound strategy, though. If you hide your City of Traders and your opponent doesn't notice it, then you get to keep it. So
until they notice it.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Yeah, that's bad.
That's actually how it used to work. If you just both missed the trigger, right? But now it's a detrimental trigger, and your opponent gets to say. Yeah. The judge goes, "Do you want him to hit that trigger?" And you're like,
"Yeah,
sure." And no, you don't get to tap it for mana in his response or anything either.
Nope. It's just gone.
Mm-hmm. You can actually I don't think he was doing that intentionally. Like he didn't even see it.
This is
He
his
didn't know
first
he
time.
had it,
This is
right?
the first
Yeah.
time playing the
Yeah,
deck.
but if you were playing it and you had it hidden like that, I think you get more.
Yeah.
You still get to tap it in response.
Don't be so.
It depends on the timing, though, right? Like if it's a turn later, and judge comes up and says, "Oh, you missed this trigger."
You might not be able to depending on the situation.
Yeah. If it had been right then, you would.
Yeah, if it's on the same turn, they'll probably
nothing can happen.
then obviously the trigger's still in the stack.
Yeah, we're still on the same page. Yeah. Right. No, normally you do, but I was saying if a judge came up and said, "Oh, you missed this trigger," you have to lose your city now, even though it's been a while. Oh, okay. Cool. So you would get to tap it. Interesting. Jorgensen. Sounds like Jorgensen has accidentally forgotten to decide your City of Traders or once or twice.
Some sketchy players
There
in our
should
chat.
be. Just kidding, Jorgensen. There should be a Magic Split Second.
All right, we got a City of Traders. We got a Chalice. It got forced. I feel like Chalice is like the most Force of Willed card.
Okay.
It might be.
Force of Will might be the most Force of Will card.
yeah, that's true.
Pitching Force.
All right, turn 2. We got a Spellskite and no land.
How do you spell Spellskite?
Try not to think about it.
It's good at spelling.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. Him to Turok. Not her to Turok.
Nope, him.
Yeah, now you're just getting into trouble.
He wasn't already in trouble?
Nope, everything was fine before.
Everything was fine. You accused him of being a cheater. And just everything was fine.
I jokingly threw out the possibility that Jorgensen had maybe encountered a situation where his opponent had cheated against him. And he knew.
That was way out of context. Them to Torok. There you go. They to Torok?
They, because we're changing. It's no longer his or her on Magic cards.
That to Torok.
Did Spellskite just attack? Is that what happened?
Oh yeah, you got to. Got to send a message.
I'm not sure if I received the message, but
yeah, maybe not.
Maybe Calvin did. Like, is this still? Is it dead? Is it gonna?
It's always dead.
Oh, he was picking a creature. Interesting. So he chose to keep the Spellskite over the Overseer.
Okay. And a Ravager.
I guess that protects future things in the future. They never do, except when you win the game. That's when they do.
Yep.
Then they stick around.
Right,
Hey,
Brainstorm. Seize.
Brainstorm,
Baleful Strix, and some blue card. Maybe Snapcaster.
It's just hanging out in the chat window.
Yeah.
It's got text all over it.
Yeah, that's where it is.
Jorgensen, now that you're back in the chat, are you coming to Seattle? Are you going to be joining us up there? So you won 2 out of 15 games, is what you're saying, Jorgensen?
No, he actually destroyed worlds in Phoenix.
You will not.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
I don't understand.
I don't know.
What should we do?
I'm confused. You're gonna be just outside of Seattle, and then come into Seattle for the GP. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, maybe.
10 out of 15 matches. Very nicely done.
That is really good. Well, for my legacy of that weekend, I won 3 out of 3 matches. So.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You went 3-0.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it was like in a double event.
Double up. Yeah. I beat Enchantress and Doomsday and Infect.
Okay. Just the decks I would expect to see.
Yep, totally.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. That's exactly how I felt though. I like walked into it and I was like, oh, deck I never played against. Second round, oh, deck I've never even like played against at all. Third round, oh, deck I really, really know how to beat. Okay. And I never see it also. Oh boy.
Jitte feels pretty good.
Yeah. No, Spellskite can mess with it a little bit, but not to any extreme. I looks like Calvage is going to take this game like pretty easily, but I guess other things can happen. Wow. Okay, no floating mana, just
plays a land.
Yeah, here we go.
Played against Mono Red Storm, and that was the highlight. If that was the highlight, maybe I wouldn't be traveling to a GP either.
What is double up for Seattle? All formats get double up events.
And are those on Sunday?
Yeah. I think most of them are. There might be some on Saturday during the event. I'm not sure.
The Mono Red Storm is an awesome deck?
I think he's talking about Steel Stompy.
Oh. No.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Alright. Some number of Jitte counters are being removed to pump. And then make a bunch of goblins with it? Is that what you get to do?
Alright, we got a deluge. This is a thing that's happening.
Or do you just cast like a big fireball because you have so much mana?
Paying 4 life? Wow, how many?
Aw, the factory gets fatally pushed. Or maybe Calvin tried to fatally push the Ravager. Grape shot. Yeah. You can't also tendrils, then it wouldn't beat Mono Red Storm. Alright, we've got some timing issues here.
They're gonna ask you. Instead of a judge, they're gonna ask you. You can tendrils in mono red. Act on Impulse and Hazardous and Dying Fury. Oh my goodness. That card is so terrible. But I have seen the mono red storm deck. It's pretty funny. Alright, so what happened there?
Things are probably not good about it. So Calvin cast the Toxic Deluge.
Okay.
Right? He did it for 6. And Jordan sacrificed everything, put it on the Ravager.
Okay.
Let the Ravager die to the Toxic Deluge.
Okay.
Then with that trigger on the stack, activated Factory and put all the counters on Factory.
Yeah.
And he was just making sure that that worked and that the Factory would live through the Toxic Deluge.
Yeah, it definitely should. Because the deluge has to resolve to kill the Ravager.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well done. He can't do that?
I'm pretty sure it works.
It needs a target when it dies?
Ah. I let him do it. When it hits the graveyard, it needs a target. So if he activates, he has to activate before Toxic Deluge resolves. I didn't think about that.
Interesting. This is like, you need to fix this. I think this game's over.
Yeah.
But
and now we're a few turns past that.
Yeah. This is what happens when you ask a caster to.
Right. I'm not a judge.
Yeah, we're not judges.
Judge call. That makes sense to me. I think that works.
Probably should have gotten like Patrick.
Yeah, I didn't actually read through the card on Ravager. I just it made sense the way he worded it to me. Wait a minute. He says, Captain QC says, reading is for losers. Just kidding. And then he sticks his tongue out. So is he just kidding about the just kidding?
Yeah.
So he's actually serious?
Yeah, you're a loser.
Wait. No, he means people who read
are losers.
When it dies, you may put it on target artifact creature. Yeah. Okay. I was wrong.
Yes, so he would have to activate it before it dies to have a target, and then obviously it would die to the deluge.
Yep. That's nice. Captain QC worded that in a way that made me feel better.
Okay.
He could have been like, "Yeah, you idiot, obviously." Instead, he's like, "Oh, it seems that you're possibly." I don't see how he wins this game, but I'll mention it to him if he does, and he can choose to go where he wants with that. They can figure it out. Because O-Stone doesn't hit lands, is what you're saying there, so it works against Oblivion Stone. Yeah. All right, so Calvin's at 3. He's still got a Jete. He lost. You have a Leovold out? Oh,
it got bounced by Caracas.
Yeah. Caracas.
It's back. He's got all sorts of mana. I'm gonna throw this on probably Snapcaster Mage. Yeah. Swing. That'll go up to 3.
This much more interesting game that should be over. Calvin won game 1, and since my incorrect helping them out, probably should have won this one a little while ago as well.
Yeah, he's gonna clean this one up though. I don't see a good route for Jordan to take.
Yeah, having the Jite out there really ruins any line. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Game 2-2, 22, and 23 as well. Let's see. So that puts Calvin undefeated versus Show and Tell. Gabriel and Show and Tell. That's going to be our final match. This way we get much more Magic, even though it probably doesn't matter at all.
No. 2-2.
We've had some interesting conversations in our chat before. Mm-hmm. This isn't one of them.
No. You've experienced them. You know what they are like, and this just isn't that at all.
Might as well just. Oh, okay. I see what's happening. So Calvin's attacking with a Strix that's equipped and a Leovold. Jordan gets to decide if he wants to. He could potentially kill the Leovold, but he loses 2 life if he doesn't. Not to the entire chat.
Bryce actually likes you all. It's me who hates you.
Wow.
I was paid to say that.
Right? Right? Come on. I mean, how many of you guys have subscribed today?
Seriously.
I haven't seen any cheers.
No, I haven't seen a follow either. None of it.
Yeah.
You kept it to yourself.
You didn't need to keep it to yourself because I pointed it out to you guys just now when they asked me a question. That's pretty funny. Knock on the door. Hey guys, you're watching our match. How does this work?
I don't know.
I was wrong. All right, I gotta let him know.
Okay.
I was wrong.
Kind of wish I could hear the or what they have to say about that. So, you know how I just made you guys play like this? That's not how it was supposed to go. Good guy Jordan pointing out his opponent's lethal. That's like I feel like that's way more like a legacy community type thing than any other format though. Every time I play Legacy, the people are just like super kind and they're like yeah let's talk about the game while we're playing. Whereas I don't know, just never felt like that with other people. I do love it though, because sometimes I'll just like give away like seemingly useless information, and I'll have my opponent like look over at me like, wow, I can't believe you just told me all that information, and I'm just like, whatever. No biggie. Just Jordan pointing out lethal for Calvin. What a nice guy.
Yeah. Is that what happened?
Yeah. Well, what? So what'd they say when you told them that? Were they like, oh, so we played that whole thing?
No.
You were just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Now we understand how Arcbound Ravager works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, some of us do. I still don't get it.
I still don't get it.
Yeah.
A lot of good that did us. Oh man. All right, so we're getting pretty close to round 4 here.
Yeah, we still have a couple games being played, so we get to hang out with you guys for a minute.
So I was talking to somebody earlier, and they were complaining that like basically the legacy players in this store almost never report their round.
Oh yeah.
You know, like the standard and the modern players, they report their round right when they're over, but the legacy players don't. And so hearing this, I'm talking to the person. I'm going, well, actually, it kind of makes sense, because when the legacy players end their round, they spend the next 15 minutes talking about their round. You know, like they unsideboard and they're talking about their games.
Let me walk through every single line.
They walk through all the lines, and they they ask for advice, and they're trying to figure things out. And next thing you know, some store worker walks up to them, and they're like, "So, how'd it go?" You know,
I can tell you how it could have gone if I draw differently. Do you want to know that?
Yeah, I have that information.
I had exactly 13 and a half outs at that point.
Exactly. I have it down to the percentage.
But no, I had to draw this useless card.
I had a 45% chance to draw my out, and I didn't.
That's my record. All right? I'm 1 and 13.5% chance of... That's great. It's true. Hey, so here's this thing that you guys can do that are in our chat. Because we got some people that are hanging out, not saying anything. What? They're not even in our chat. They're just lurking. Or doing the thing where they are doing something else but have us on.
They just sit there and like watch us?
If you guys want to, you can subscribe.
You could.
I mean, you probably all have followed already, right? All, 35, 38 of you? You can follow if you haven't. That's a good thing to do.
It is a good thing.
But also, you can subscribe. There's a little button if you're on a desktop. It's up in the top right corner.
And Twitch Prime gives you a free one.
Right up there somewhere.
You can...
Yeah.
You can subscribe to us without using.
They're
any
playing
of the dollars.
Far Cry 5 while watching Legacy. That actually makes sense. That's great.
While you edit your podcast, that's great. That's awesome.
Cookie Chris, I'm all about that. I often have a stream on while I'm doing work. They're not watching right now. They go away for the ads. I understand. That's fine.
Yeah.
But if you have a free subscription and you haven't subscribed and you want to do something right now, we'll let you subscribe to our channel.
Mm-hmm.
We won't say no.
I won't even say. I won't say no. No.
We're 2 subscribers away from a really nice round number of 25.
That'd be good.
Some streamers are going for like 250,000 subscriptions. Well, there's one. Some are going for like 25,000. We're going for 25.
We should have catchy ads to play between rounds. Or play games with the chatters.
You wouldn't rather us? Yeah, we thought about doing that, like
Yeah.
running out and go play a match. It's unfortunate that we don't know how much time it is because like the round just ended, right? And so there's a game that's on turns or whatever, or somebody's setting up pairings. So sometimes we have a pretty good idea.
We've thought about making ads before, but
We had ads for a little while,
Yeah.
and then the same.
we lose all of our viewers when we show ads.
Yeah, we don't wanna do
Us talking about random garbage is like it keeps our viewers
that.
down.
Yeah, normally that's what I do. Normally I pull up some Magic websites, and I talk about Magic, and show you interesting
They want trivia.
legacy decks.
They want
They want trivia, huh?
They want us to ask them questions that they may or may not know the answer.
All right,
to.
chat. What set has a leprechaun in it?
We could play the art game.
Creature type leprechaun.
We could play the art game.
That sounds really boring.
I like the art
So
game.
is there a flash sale going on right now? 8 p.m. Pacific. We missed it. Man.
Brian Halleck
always miss it.
lurks while re-sleeping decks.
Legends. Dragon wins. All right, your turn to come up with a trivia question.
That's not fair. I can't do that.
Based on a card name. All right, give us a card name, chat. Let's see if I can guess what it does. I like this. Let's see if I can do it. You give me one, though. Come on. We'll do chat involvement. They give it to each other. They cheat.
That's lame.
Yeah.
Scripted.
Cookie Chris, give me a card name, and I'll try and guess what it does.
How many times have you sold your
The
collection?
cheese stands alone. All right, cheese stands alone. You ready for this?
No.
If the cheese stands alone is in play, and it's the only thing in play, and you have no cards in hand, you win the game.
What? That's way stupid.
Am I correct? Give me a card viewer out of the
I don't think
MTG bot.
I don't think this is a real card. They just say fake cards and then we make up crap. Oh my god, it's a real card. You knew. You actually knew?
All right, give me
Was
another one.
It's like an uncard?
Yeah, this is from Unglued.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh my god.
You're like, what?
I'm like, this is
You're
stupid.
making things up. All right, give me. It's
an
an
uncard, not a
MTG
real
bot.
card. There you
Come
go.
on.
Yeah.
The person who says the card says it's not a real card.
Yeah.
Ooh. This is a key Coalflinger is from that horrible Kamigawa block.
Ew.
That's my guess. It's a red card. It's a creature, and it deals some amount of damage, more than one, less than 4.
I bet you it taps and it deals like 2 damage to to like a creature player, and it deals you 3 damage.
All right.
Or like it deals the creature 3 damage.
That's a pretty good guess. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I don't actually know what the card is. The exactsies. If it's from Kamigawa block, I think I'll feel pretty good. Almost.
Oh, dang it.
It's from
Way off.
Champions of Kamigawa.
Okay, you got there. That's first strike.
3 for a 2/2 first strike. Tap red and tap it. Attacking creatures gain first strike until end of turn.
That's lame.
Yeah. I mean, it was a red creature. We were close.
So we were asked up here.
I knew the set.
We were asked how many times you've sold your Magic collection.
This game is way more fun than that game.
I'm still curious.
I've never sold out.
I haven't either.
Which is why
I've sold
I can afford to play Legacy.
I have sold a lot of things, but it's all into other cards. I've never sold out just to have cash.
I started playing. 4th edition was out. Ice Age, I believe, was either just printed or just came out. So the first pack I bought was a pack of Chronicles, and I got to play amazing cards like the Arctic Wolf, Timberwolf. Nope, Arctic.
No. Arctic Wolf. That's not how you spell it. How do you spell that?
94. Yeah, so right around the same time.
The first time I ever played Magic, it was in the Legions set. I didn't start playing competitively till Shadowmoor. So a little over 10 years. That's how long I've been playing competitive Magic.
You think Search for Azcanta will go up to what Scarab card? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Search for Azcanta will be the card from the set eventually. Once rotation happens, Scarab God's going to see maybe a hint of play in Modern one day.
I don't know.
But Search for Azcanta is going to be played in Modern and in Legacy and in Commander.
Started an Onslaught? Yeah, that's right around when I started playing Ryan Hellick.
Oh,
Right
no, it wasn't
around
Arctic
there.
Wolves. What card am I thinking of? Arctic.
Yeah, Scarab God is too pricey for most formats. Like it's kind of ridiculous.
Arctic Fox.
Arctic
Thought it was a
Fox.
wolf.
There you go.
Arctic Fox costs 2 for a 1/1. If defending player controls any snow-covered lands, no creature with power greater than 1 may be assigned to block Arctic Wolf or
Whoa.
Arctic Foxes. Yeah, I played with that card in a deck
You
that
attack
I
with it?
built. It's horrible.
Yeah, Scarab God is too slow for older formats, but it's also incredibly powerful.
Yeah, I could see a deck eventually playing a Scarab God, but Goblin Balloon Brigade, yeah, that was a good card.
Les's first pack was revised. Man, you guys have been playing forever. I feel like a new player when people tell me how long they've been playing.
There's a lot of players who have been. There's more players who have been playing for less time than we have.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I mean, most people I like, or at least around the shop, I'll like mention Legacy to somebody, and they're like, "Oh, really? You play Legacy?" Like they know nothing about the format.
Yeah, we old players enjoyed Royal Assassin, Icy Manipulator, Mohammadi Jinn, and Clone.
Worst set ever printed. That I don't think there's a lot of like argument with that. It's Homelands, right? Like, wasn't that just by far the most? You started in original Innistrad. Yeah, see, that was a couple years after I did.
Oh, he's asking what the worst set ever printed was.
The worst set ever printed. It's got to be Homelands.
I guess it depends on what your defining worst set is, right? Like, yeah, Homelands was really bad, and it wasn't fun, but it had some fun things in it. You got to play a bunch of Thalids. I remember making armies of Thalids, right? And that was a good time. Or like the Order of Lightbur or whatever, the white creature that you could pump. There were some fun things that you could do. But okay, so yeah, like Jerlo says, it killed Magic. But there's also like Mirrodin killed Magic.
Yeah, Mirrodin did kill Magic.
So you could say that that's the worst block. Urza's Saga almost killed Magic.
Brian quit during Mirrodin.
Yeah, a lot of players went away from Magic,
playing.
and there was a way more players to go walk away from it than there were in Homeland. Like Magic survived Homelands just fine. Magic almost didn't survive Mirrodin, and it almost didn't survive
Kamigawa was bad.
Saga. Yeah.
Man, I've had a lot of people tell me that like they've really loved some of the recent sets too, and I think some of the like Theros block, I really hated Theros block. It was easily one of my like least favorite that I've ever played, you know.
And I didn't like tournament play during Mercadian Mass block either.
Yeah.
That was awkward. So like it depends on what you're using as your definition.
Cobblade was bad if you were, or like that era was really, really bad if you were playing a high level of competitive. There actually were at least two other decks, and they were fun. Like there was like a Primeval Titan deck and Vampires. Vampires was like, I was playing Vampires at that time. Vampires had a pretty decent Cobblade matchup. No, it wasn't better than Cobblade, but I enjoyed it. So I don't know. Just kind of depends like what your style is and if it exists in the format at the moment.
We got some Magic.
This?
Just to wrap up there, Cookie Chris, I like the one set expansion thing as well. What I think is too bad though is that they didn't stick with their shorter rotation schedule. I think that would have been better for the game. It's just they had a huge amount of players get really upset about the fact that their cards wouldn't get to play with the cards they bought for as long. But I think those players would have had more fun playing with a shorter rotation. It would have been a smaller standard right now. It would be more interesting, and they maybe wouldn't have had to ban some of the cards that they've banned recently because they would have rotated.
Yeah, Teamer Energy like tore up everything.
Yeah, and it would have already been gone.
Yeah,
I think in the new rotation that didn't ever actually happen.
Yeah, I was really, really upset that they went back on that. I was excited to see like more rotations and, you know, more new, less solved, you know.
So here we've got Calvin. These are our two undefeated players. We've got Calvin on 4-color, Gabriel on Sneak and Show. Calvin has a game against Sneak and Show for sure. And he doesn't have like that one cool threat that you can drop in response to as a resolution of show and tell that Remy had or some other decks do, where they can drop an ensnaring bridge or some of the other overwhelming splendor.
Yep.
We haven't seen any Nyx Fit decks in a while, have we?
Nope.
You could surprise some people.
You could.
You know what we haven't seen today, which makes this one of the best Tuesdays ever?
What?
We haven't seen lands on camera once.
No, we haven't.
Success.
We haven't seen miracles either.
We haven't seen miracles or lands.
All right, so Hymn to Tarok did get forced. Threw away a preordain. But he has another. Yeah, Ryan Halleck. That is how Magic is now. Like really, really efficient creatures, really efficient permanents, and like not good ways to deal with them.
Yeah.
You deal with them by playing more efficient creatures and permanents than your opponent. It's a little ridiculous.
Did I just tell everyone? Yep. I was like, hey, you're playing lands, you're not on camera. Deal with it. I think Standard's actually interesting right now, except for Scarab God. I think it ruins what could be an interesting Standard. And the card, take away one of the abilities and it's fine. Leave the bounces back to your hand, but get rid of the...
Even if they made it a tap ability, it'd probably be fine.
Like, leave the Eternal thing off of it, or leave the Eternal thing and remove the bounce back thing. Make it so that your opponent actually has an answer instead of exile.
You dropped this.
Drop the scry? No. The scry is like just icing, right? That's not what makes the card broken, I think.
I don't think so either.
But leave the scry and drop one of the other two.
That and the other whatchamacallit. Oh, Tasmag Grimmafinkler? Is that what we're talking about, Jolo? It's going to catch on eventually. We're just going to keep calling it that until people...
All right. We're back into this Magic thing. Look at this. Cookie Chris like made us go tangent. We're all sideways now.
Hey, he had some really good questions.
I like the card game. We're going to play that again. I got to win.
You got to win.
And then and somebody said a stupid Kamigawa card. What was that?
Yeah, that was stupid.
Nobody knows those.
Speaking of non-efficient cards.
Deathrite Shaman? Is that what we're speaking of?
Yeah, it's not efficient at all. People don't call it the 1-mana Planeswalker or anything.
Yeah, it'd still get play.
It probably would, but yeah, it'd be a lot worse. It's not a bad.
Yep, that would have been a nice fix.
It would have been. Because then it like dies, the tokens goes away, it goes back to the hand, and they still have to deal with it. It'd be really powerful, but
you get so many enters the battlefield effects too, right? It's like the worst time to have a creature that brings back other creatures. Because I'm gonna pay for get your thing, and it's a 4/4, and I get to destroy your creature, and I get energy, and I get to scry or whatever.
Oh, Gurmagur Tassifangler. Okay. Pretty much if you just mix the two names like in any way, shape, or form, I'll give it a pass. Brian and I had like a half an hour like just go on and on and on with how many names we could call it.
Tassimag Gurmafinger Stalker?
No, that's just awful.
Tomb Gurmafinger Stalker?
We're mixing another card into the mix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe some Bedlam Gasper Firmware Fangler. I got stuck.
Yeah, I noticed.
The Bedlam Reveler goes in there somewhere.
Why would it go in there?
Bedlam Reveler is a treasure cruise.
Is it?
It's a Tarmogoyf and a treasure cruise.
In the same creature?
It might be the best card ever printed in Magic.
Whoa.
Tarmogoyf was like $150. Treasure Cruise was banned in every single format. Is it restricted and minted right now?
I think so.
It might be the best creature in any format. I mean, it costs one more red than...
Yep. Making it like the 25th best creature.
So instead of costing 2 green for a Goyf, you have to pay 2 red for a Goyf plus draw 3 cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what that says. Yep.
I agree. It is underplayed.
Yeah.
I think it's underplayed in Legacy.
You can keep specking because I think it's going to continue to go up eventually. I haven't bought a ton of them, but
I have a foil.
Yeah.
Yeah. You look through my binder and I've never taken it out.
I have enough of them already. That's why.
Foils.
Yeah. I quickly bought 3 now.
And then you have Brian. He gets the German ones, the Chaos Schwelgers.
Yeah, that's dumb.
Yeah, so stupid.
Those are not a good Magic.
Yeah, why would you ever call
it?
The
English one is decent, but the German one's just bad. Not as efficient. Maybe it's too efficient.
Maybe like the best creature ever printed.
Nobody's arguing with me.
No, they've all just accepted it.
We were talking about Treasure Cruise, Jorgensen, because it's 1/2 of Bedlam Reveler. Right on, Cookie Chris. Thanks for joining us.
Awesome. We have all sorts of 1K plus events going on this year. So if you take a look at Paragon City Games Facebook, you can check that out. See when you want to come out and hang out.
Hey, thanks for even checking the free sub thing. That's all right. I like it. I don't know why you would cancel Prime though. That sounds weird.
Yeah, it kind of does.
Bedlam sucks because haven't we seen Stormcrow? That's a solid argument right there. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, how do you even follow that?
Yep.
Can we even say anything after that?
It was renewed without your consent. That sounds very corporate. All right, a show and tell.
Here's the important turn.
Calvin gets to draw a card.
Yep.
Gabriel gets to play everything he has. He doesn't have anything to play.
No, just play an Omniscience and pass.
All right, so Calvin's at 17. Gabriel's at 13. We've got Strict, Snapcaster, Death right on one side. We've got Omniscience on the other side. He can. What is Omniscience? What is the definition of it?
You just get to cast things for free from your hand.
Like the actual word. You are all powerful. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Omnipotent is you are all knowledgeable, and omniscient is all powerful. Is that right? He's all powerful.
Okay. Deal. Let me tell you about a card called Storm Crow Storm. Yeah, I've seen it. It's beautiful.
It even has its own token.
Yep, which is also beautiful.
Let's find this out. This is critical information. We were on the trivia train here. It's hard to spell. Omniscient is knowing everything. I was wrong. Omnipotent is all powerful. I was reversed. I am obviously not omniscient.
Please, Grandpa, tell me the story of the crow. All knowing.
So wouldn't that mean you could like draw your deck, and then omnipotent would be you could put them all into play for free?
I guess.
I think they got this backwards.
Yeah, seriously. It happens.
It feels like they should correct that. I've seen the Reddit threads where people are like, "Fix this in Magic."
Make the cards actually do what they say. I think that'd be asking a lot from them. Whoa, you freezing up a little bit. Looks like it.
Errated, yeah. Nice life total board.
Yeah.
It's kind of off screen at the moment. Our players like to push the board just off their playmat to put their playmats down, and then they forget to put it back.
Yeah.
But it works. You guys get to actually see what their life totals are.
We can see.
Yeah.
Even though we can't see the full 7, it's pretty clear that is 7.
So Gabriel's down to 3. He's probably going to need to attack, gain some life here, regardless of what else happens. I don't think there's anything else really to do. And then hopes. Oh, okay, that's fine. So that Belfast Strix coming down for Calvin on the show and tell actually mattered.
It does
quite a bit.
Normally, I'd say it doesn't, but I think this is going to be really tough for Gabriel actually.
So you don't get to gain life and then draw cards. Mm-hmm. That doesn't work.
No. Yeah, just a straight up trade, and Gabriel go up to 10.
Calvin's working him through that. There we go. So he just needs to top deck something. That's one of the 8 cards in the deck that win the game, or put him in a really nice position anyway. And Calvin on the other side has not much. He has an attack for 2. That's a decent clock. 4 damage a turn. All right, Gabriel drew a Ponder. He's gonna pay for his Ponder. He's got an Omniscience. He's gonna pay for it anyway. That's how powerful he is.
Do you think he'll realize at any point? No, just pay for it.
It probably doesn't matter at all. But yeah.
So the question is there blue floating right now?
I think Omniscience is you may.
I know, but did he tap for blue and then cast it off Omniscience?
Sometimes you got to be honest. I could play this for free. I choose not to. Probably doesn't matter at all.
Nope.
Which I like the most. I wouldn't laugh about a mistake like that if it mattered.
Right.
He's got 2 cards in hand. There they are, right there. They're in his hand on the board, in the middle of the board. You pay the mana for Ponder in hopes of getting better cards.
So, like, the Ponder responds to the type of mana that was used to cast it?
Maybe that's what it is.
So when there's no mana used to cast it, then it's just kind of a bad Ponder?
Yeah. Then he's going to Force of Will for free Thoughtseize. He didn't pitch another card that time.
Oh, it is getting choppy.
Not sure why. I showed too many altars.
It's round 4.
The ponder potency is a bit pitiful when cast for free. You lost a few P words there, Jorgensen. The ponder potency is potentially less powerful if you. Hey, look, it's Emrakul. I missed something because our stream is jumping. Is it jumping for you guys?
It's green down here. OBS is showing that it's fine.
Yeah. This hasn't happened in a little while.
No.
I'll check some stuff after our stream to make sure things are working.
It is choppy.
Boo! And we're back. Well, okay. That's a good response, and I have nothing to say to that. So game 1 went to one of those players. I saw an Emrakul, but then it disappeared because of the choppiness, so I'm not sure how that actually ended.
The choppiness actually did make it hard for us to see.
I think Calvin won. He had enough things to sack and still win, I think.
Let's jump over to our other table.
Whoa, we have another table.
It is jumpy over here as well. Lovely.
What is open?
Nothing.
Couldn't kill that.
Yeah.
We will try and fix it. We will perform open heart surgery on our live patient here. It's Lance, finally! Oh no, what's happened? It was forced.
We've got Ray versus who's this? Davis, I believe.
Ray versus Davis.
Yeah, Miracles versus Lance. The matchup that we were saying we couldn't find.
Huh.
I should never have jumped over here.
Nope.
What in the world was I thinking?
We could have pretended everything was okay.
We could have.
Now we can't.
Nope. I guess I could label their match. Yes.
I don't know. If you type or do anything, it might break the whole system.
Yeah, it really might.
Ray lands. Davis, not lands.
That's really what you want me to put.
We needed a harsh smack in the face of reality. Ray played against me on Friday. He gave me a nice harsh smack in the face reality. And now he wasn't playing Reality Smash. He was playing Lands.
Yeah.
It worked. I lost. See, I told you. Shouldn't have done.
Yeah, I shouldn't have.
I'd pull up stuff and try and fix it, but that just it's worse.
Usually, yeah.
When we try and do it live.
It's round 4. It's round 4. We'll get there.
Yeah. It's because somebody asked us trivia questions. Broke the system.
Yep. We were trying so hard to avoid trivia questions.
Stupid
Now just back to that. Les, shouldn't you be zonked out? Oh, he is zonked out. He's just also conscious. I know, weird combination.
Yeah, he's got soothsaying out. And 2020 wins. So, game 2 of round 4 with a spinny circle. Don't type anything. Don't do it.
Okay.
Just leave it. We don't need to update scores.
We don't need to update the scores.
No.
Okay.
We can jump back and forth between games, and that's enough. Everybody will be happy.
Oh, speaking of looking at cards with Ascanta, so you guys have heard. I know you guys have heard of this new. It's basically standard EDH, right? It's called Brawl.
Right.
it's a basically a 59 card standard deck, but it's singleton, and you get like a planeswalker or a legendary creature as your general.
Right.
You know, and so us at the store have been messing with this format a little bit. It has been interesting. I had to search for Azcanta, and I was like going to lose the game, and so like I went to draw, and I drew 3 cards, and I go to draw another card, and I just took it off my opponent's deck instead because I knew I didn't have anything left. The look that Tim gave me was priceless. It was so funny.
Thank you for returning my lands to me. I appreciate it. Or giving them to Brian to give back to me. I think Brawl is a cute format that, like, if you want to sit down and, hey, let's do this quick thing and then be silly. Sure, go for it if it's your thing. Like, we play DC 10.
Oh, Jeremy, that's awesome. No, seriously, we've been playing it here at the store, and it is surprisingly fun. Yeah. Like, I honestly thought that I was going to hate it, and I've ended up having, like, some of the most weird, fun games, you know, in a long time. So, if you haven't tried it, I suggest it. It's incredibly cheap. It is so cheap to get into, so...
It's kind of like playing Arena right now, in a way, right? It's kind of fun and silly. And you, in a lot of ways, because Arena right now, you're very limited on your card pool. So, yeah. Like, I'm playing with Scarab God. I have 1. I don't have access to another one. I have less than 4 Chupacabras in the deck, because I don't have access to another one. Stuff like that.
Right.
It's kind of a similar... You don't have as big a card pool, because you don't have all of the... other block.
Why is it cheap? Yeah, you do need the best standard cards, but you don't need play sets of them.
Yeah.
Like, so for instance, like my deck, it's a blue-black deck. Yeah, it has a Scarab God, but I'm borrowing it, so I don't have standard cards.
See, Jorgensen, it's cheap because you don't even need them to be your cards.
If you're not using Scarab God though, like if you're playing a different color deck, then it's really not going to be all that expensive.
Right. You can go pirates or dinosaurs or whatever. And
right. You need 1 of everything, and there really aren't a large number of pricey cards in standard. The problem is like the pricey cards you need like 4 of.
See, it's really cheap, Jorgensen. It's practically free.
I spent $20 on my deck. Like, that is cheap.
Yeah.
And when I'm done and the format like dies, I can just sell them back to the store.
Sorry for the choppy video here, guys. I'm not sure why, but we'll mess with it afterwards since we're at the end here, and hopefully this won't happen again for us. We get this like every few months, huh?
Vintage is cheap if you get power loaned to you. You're actually correct. Except for that's just way different. $30.
Somebody borrowing a standard card that's sitting in their binder.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun way for some players like us who have no desire to play standard to play with standard cards and get a cheap.
I'd suggest trying it. It was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, Alec. I am similar. I do have many duels, and I have bought them.
I look at a Scarab God and go, yeah, I'll get one of those eventually when it rotates.
Yeah, when it rotates. Mm-hmm.
Afterwards, maybe a little while later. I'm still waiting to pick up Chandra's, I think. Because they haven't rotated yet, but I'll get them. So, Gabriel played out a Leyline of Sanctity. That was a while ago. I'm just catching you guys up. In fact, that was before the game even started. He did that. And then a bunch of other things have happened, but not much. We have been live for 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Whoa. We've been sitting here a while.
I've been up and down.
Keeping up with standard is expensive though. Like, honestly, if you keep up with standard for like what 3 to 4 rotations, I'd say you should have just gotten into Legacy.
Oh yeah.
Like, Yeah.
Yeah. It's the cheap standard cards that go into Legacy. Perfect. Yeah. Eldrazi's are really a good time to pick up right now. Actually, they're still pretty cheap because that block was so weird.
Yep.
But eventually, things like Reality Smashers and Thought Knot Seers they're gonna keep climbing up in value, I think.
Yeah. They're gonna be hard to reprint as well because of their colorless mana symbol. I always look at that like when I'm in like investing into a card. It's like, do they have an ability that's going to be like kind of like somewhat difficult to fit into a reprint set?
I don't know. Now they're changing to themed reprint sets. So
Admiral No Beard, I agree. I can't tell you how many people who I have had conversations with where they're like, yeah, my goal is to go to a pro tour. You know what? I've actually never had that goal. Never once have I had the goal to go to a pro tour. I've played in GPs. I just like playing competitive Magic. I don't really care where it takes me. It's a hobby.
So the reason that the majority of pro tours are standard is so they can sell standard cards.
That is exactly why.
It's not because the players want to be playing standard. I think they would actually prefer a different format. Most of them.
I think most would prefer modern. There's a lot of professionals that prefer Legacy though.
You didn't do it? Just freezing. Alright, let's see if I can... Should I try and fix it?
I don't know.
This is bad.
Yeah, it really is. We'll probably just end after this match regardless of what's going on Lands and Miracles.
Our whole computer's freezing up on you guys. Sorry about this, guys.
Is our audio bad? Yeah, why in the heck is this happening?
Full on crashing mode. Alright. Ready? Ready? It's weird that it happened again. I wonder if it's the same problem as last time, but I thought I corrected that entirely.
It might be.
If not, maybe we'll end the round right now, because this is unwatchable, right? I'll jump in and see if I can. Wow, the audio's doing all right.
The audio is just fine. Oh, that's funny. I don't understand that. Why would the audio be perfect?
Yeah.
It's not even video. Just not even load at all.
The motions. So this is a computer issue on our end here, guys. Actually, this time. Sometimes it's obviously an internet connectivity thing or other things happening, but it shouldn't be happening. So we'll try and get it corrected. But it's one of those, when you're streaming live, correcting issues makes it way harder because it's eating up all the computer power right now. Yeah. And so usually the fix is to stop streaming for a moment. Yes, I've heard that before as well. That it's actually the promotional tour, and there's a lot of truth to that. They know what they're doing. They know that they're advertising their set, and it's just OBS eating everything again.
Is this the same problem we ran into last time? Can you tell?
I can, but not when it's
like this.
Yeah, I'll be able to tell right afterwards if that's it.
I think it is.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right, guys. Well, I think we're gonna stop here because this isn't working. We could try and come back live, but last time it took 10 minutes or so before we were able to, and we'll be right at the end of the round anyway. So, thank you again for joining us. We'll try and get this absolutely fixed so this doesn't happen ever again. been a while since it happened.
It has.
And it's unexpected. But we'll be back here Friday night.
Yeah, Friday night
For some Magic, and then we'll be I think off next week.
Yes.
Tuesday and Friday.
Yeah, that's something that we'll stress today and on Friday. We will not be here next week due to pretty much all of us being in Seattle.
Yep.
So.
All right, you guys are awesome. Thanks for joining us, and we'll end on this awesome conclusion where one player is.
Or who knows what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay.
Later, everyone.